is
Good evening, brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Coming to you live from the rolling hills of beautiful, tall Austria, it's the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. Tonight, the boys get suckered into watching what they are led to believe is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, but is actually, well, certainly not that. 2017's action comedy, Killing Gunther, is the topic of discussion this evening as our favorite crew of ballsy badasses enjoys the Daniel Marshall Red Label cigar paired with pint after delicious pint of Paulaner Salvator Doppel Bock beer. Ballsy badasses. I'm once again thankful that I have absolutely no say in writing the copy I'm contractually obligated to read here each Tuesday. Well, anywho, sit back, folks, light 'em up, and enjoy the show.
featuring a rare comedy tonight, boys. We don't do too many of those on the show.
What?
We don't do too many comedies in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
We provide our own comedy.
We do
Right.
like horror films, TNA films, comedy films. In that order.
I mean, film. We do a lot of films that are unintentionally funny, but
True.
This one actually is trying to be funny. Speaking of comedies, you know what I hate? Thinking about this the other day. I hate when somebody just has to show you this hilarious video on YouTube,
Yeah.
and you know before they hit play on that thing on their phone that you are not going to think this is funny at all. And then you have to stand there and watch this thing as they just stare at you and judge you for not laughing at the stupid video. I hate it.
I'm sorry you just caught me at a bad time.
It's the total fucking worst situation, and I find myself in it like constantly. Everywhere I go, people want to show me funny shit on their phones, and you know, these women coming forward with the sexual assault, harassment allegations. No, like with Weinstein and Louis C.K., Jeremy Piven, where they
Wait, Piven got it?
Oh yeah, big time. Oh yeah, that's a shocker. But you know how they describe it, you know, where
It's like every 15 minutes I'm like, wait, that person got it?
well, you know, they describe the way they describe the way they felt when they're trapped in the rooms with these guys masturbating in front of them, and it's like this nauseous, sickening kind of numbness that comes over their bodies. That's how I feel when someone tries to show me a little cute video on their phones.
I really thought you
I
wanted
think
to
that's
see
a
the
really
video of
bad
our
analogy.
I can relate to these women. I can
think-
totally relate.
I think
to
that's
them.
a really bad analogy.
That's a super bad
I think
analogy.
you've.
And
I think the hate mail is going to start coming in immediately.
Since when do men want to be watched masturbating?
This is what
I thought
freaks
our
me
whole
out.
lives were geared and we're trained to not get people to see us do that.
It is the weirdest thing. I have no clue what this is about.
I always thought, 40 years old, I always thought the whole idea was to not let anyone let you see you spank your monkey. These guys are giving away free tickets to the zoo.
Did you say 4 years old?
40.
Oh. I was like, damn, you started early.
No, I'm just saying my whole life is like you don't want people to see you doing this. These
No,
guys,
I know.
These
It's-
guys are doing it all over the place.
It's the weirdest thing. And I understand they're like, well, it's part of the power play. Okay.
Did anybody ever
It's
see the
just
movie
weird.
Horns with Daniel Radcliffe?
No.
It was based on a book by Joe
Stephen
Hill,
King's son,
Stephen
right?
King's son. Yeah, I actually I didn't see the movie the whole way through, but I caught part of it in the middle, and it was interesting. I kind of like to go back and see it, but the Daniel Radcliffe character, the main character, he starts growing a little pair of horns, literally,
Right.
due to something that happened in his life, and the main thing is it gives him a power to kind of make people tell the truth, and he's been implicated in a murder that he swears he didn't do, but he's living in this small town, and so he goes into the bar, but at this point the horns have grown to the point where he can make people tell him the truth. And so, like, he goes up to the bar and, like, tells the bartender, he's like, any hope I can get a drink in here? And he's like, no, you know what? I really don't want to serve you. But I'll tell you what I do want to do is I want to set this place on fire and collect the insurance. And he starts pouring whiskey and lighting a match. He's like, no, don't do it.
Right.
And another guy, and I think it's Vincent D'Onofrio, everyone's just telling the truth. He stands up with this kind of half smile on his face and goes, I just want to show people my penis. And he unzips his pants. This feels so good. I think some people, it's very weird and sick. I agree with you, but
You know what?
some people I think are sick, and you know,
You know
watch
what?
me jerk off.
Let me take that back. Perhaps I was a little egregious in comparing my personal uncomfortableness
you were.
with these women. In that situation when I'm looking at a funny video, you know what's even fucking worse? When someone wants to play me a song or show me a music video. Because then I'm forced to sit there, and what do? Do I tap my foot? Do I like nod my head? No. I feel like it's total, I freeze, I don't know how to react. What do? Unless it's them performing the song, that can never end well. That's what social media is for, is to put YouTube videos out and to share shit that nobody really wants to see. You don't do it in person. You don't go up to somebody and say, look at my phone for 4 minutes.
I think that you might actually be somewhat culpable here in this problem that you have.
Do it.
I got news for you, too. Ain't nobody watching those little YouTube videos you put on Facebook and all that. Nobody's waking up in the morning getting a cup of Joe like, oh, I wonder what Jason Tuttle loaded up on Facebook for me to watch this morning.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, you're the only one here active on Facebook. I just threw you under the bus. I'm sorry. I'm sure people love watching your stuff.
They love Charles Mortimer, and they love his videos.
It's his cat.
I think
It's his cat.
so let me ask pose this question to the table.
Let me just finish with this real quick. Nobody cares because everybody's taste is absolutely terrible. The last person that showed you something's worse than the next one that's going to show it to you. People don't have the heart to tell people that they have terrible taste. So it just keeps going in this endless circle like a runaway semi-truck with Katy Perry behind the wheel, Jimmy Fallon riding shotgun. It's just a doomsday scenario driving us all straight into hell. Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club, episode 62.
Jeez, man. I was depressed before the show, and now I'm just like, what the fuck? Why?
What were you saying, Doc? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was drawing on my.
I had to.
He was practicing his art.
I was drawing. Would it be impressive if I said, "Hey, Tuttle, what do you think of this dick I just drew?" And now I've kind of forced you into looking at it and making an analysis.
I'm not touching this. Well, wait.
Hey, touch it.
Look, it's ridiculous.
On your shoulder.
It's in all seriousness, this is not the forum for this subject to even be vaguely broached. So we'll talk briefly about it.
No, I just thought that I was wondering.
It's comical. We were talking before
You're
the show,
absolutely right.
Doctor.
I
before you got
don't
here.
want to watch YouTube videos.
You're smart. You're good. The doctor and I were talking this afternoon, and we were talking a little bit before the show. It's like it's comical now. Every day, it's like 3 or 4 new people in positions of the spotlight who are just doing these crazy things. Whether it's whacking off in front of people or taking their. I think Doctor and I were talking about Richard Dreyfuss. They came out with him. Little Richard Dreyfuss was like grabbing allegedly some chick's head and like burying it in his crotch, and like Dustin Hoffman's telling people he wants to, their soft-boiled clitoris. Like, what the fuck's going on with people? Allegedly. I'm still not at the point where you say it happened. It happened. There's a he said, she said, he said, he said. I do think there has to be a certain. We can't just always believe one side or the other. I know. I mean,
that's one of the things
tricky part
that I'm trying to navigate is that I don't think you get that opportunity now. I think you either have to side with the victim or you're a fucking asshole and part of the problem.
Or like you
and
said,
I'm just kind of like, wait.
Like you said, you just stay away from it.
Yeah, because I'm like,
pretend like you never heard of it.
I kind of want to believe that people are innocent until proven guilty. And
how do you prove it? How do you prove something that happened 20 years ago? You're sitting there having a cup of coffee and a bagel, and Richard Dreyfuss sticks his dick on your shoulder. How do you prove that?
And that's what sucks is that, you're sitting there going, well, I do kind of believe in due process. And they're like, oh, so the victim asked for it. No, that's not what I'm saying. Wait, you're calling her a liar.
You're talking about a larger issue,
like,
though. That's true of anything in today's society. It doesn't have to be about this. It could be about politics, or it's like, if you don't agree with my opinion on the president, then you're an asshole. Or so it's like you can't. There's no discourse
people
anymore.
Love the echo chamber. They love to be surrounded by people that think like they do.
But now you've got a subject that's really, really kind of important, with sexual abuse. But now it's just so freaking. I don't know what to think. I can't even. Well, I can't. I don't even want to even.
Well, we don't have to. I just it's like some of these names you hear, and it's like, Steven Seagal has been all over it. Like everyone's coming out with Steven Seagal stories. For some reason, that doesn't surprise me at all. But then you hear like Dustin Hoffman or Jeremy Piven. That surprises me. Zilch, like that guy just looks like a sleazeball. By the way, he's banned from the Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
What about this one?
Oh wait! PCU is a wonderful movie.
He's on the banned list.
No.
And do they look like dicks, or does it look like
so
a
well when he
pipe?
acts with Cusack?
The top part definitely does.
Guys,
look
our
like
listeners can't see the dick pictures. Okay. Well, I guess I could put them on the website.
Well,
but then I'm in trouble. Then I'm an asshole.
No, I'm just showing them to Tut.
And by the way,
don't show an asshole. Oh.
And by the way, PCU is a good movie.
It's watchable.
Well,
it's a good movie.
I'm adding Piven to our ban list. Him and Miles Teller are. Sorry.
I'd still like to actually get back to the issue that you have with people coming up and showing you videos. I agree that really sounds horrible. Now, people don't do that to me, but I know why. And I was wondering if Yax or Tut, if you have that problem that Kate has, where it seems that people are constantly coming up to you and making you watch a video or something to get your opinion on it. Do you have that issue? That's not an issue for me.
It's not your opinion they want, though.
No, they want you to agree with them.
It's your approval.
To laugh because they think it's funny.
Right, it's just like everything else.
And then when I'm watching Jimmy Fallon in a penguin suit shooting beer bottles out of his asshole or whatever stupid shit it is, and I'm not laughing, I feel like I'm an asshole.
Now, see, you've called me out at times in the past where I've said something that was almost rather rude socially to people, but when you put out that air, nobody comes up to show you any videos.
Yeah.
And I should be more tolerant when my mom shows me stuff.
No, what I'm saying is if you generally, if you sometimes have a little bit of a gruff exterior or a real I'm not interested exterior, people know not to do that.
I do think I am a very warm, welcoming soul.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, you're kind of culpable
here.
this
opening is just...
that's what I was getting at.
So uncomfortable. I am so uncomfortable.
Hey, speaking of comfortable, apparently...
He's touching me. He's touching me.
Apparently, when actresses would come to Steven Seagal's house, allegedly, he would to read for parts. Their managers would send him over to his house. He would say, I'd much rather
look at parts.
I'd go read this in my dojo upstairs. And I'm
gonna start using that one.
And he'd have one of those Steven Seagal robes on. And allegedly, this came out the other day, yesterday, I think. One of the girls.
It's funny because I can just see it. So.
One of the girls said, when he was like, I think we could get a better feel on this up in my dojo.
That's priceless.
She told him, no, that's not the best line. She told him, I'm not too comfortable with that. Can we just stay down here? Because I guess his like staff and stuff was around, And he's like, you telling me you wouldn't be comfortable for the next 30 minutes sitting on my face? It's terrible. It's terrible. The guy's a monster.
At which point I threw in, well, maybe if you take those cheese sticks out of your mouth.
No, this was old Seagal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's what makes it even funnier is when you think of present day Cigar in that little robe doing this.
Well, he's not wearing any little robes.
You want to come up to my dojo?
Barely getting up the stairs.
Steven Seagal in out of diabetes medication. Look, we don't know who did what here, and I think Tut, you're right. It's something so serious. It sucks that it's just too much now. Where people, how do you deal with shit when it's too much? You laugh and you look for humor, and that's how I deal with stuff. We're about to get nuked by these people. We're doing. What do? You make jokes because what else are you gonna do? Blow your fucking brains out?
Draw some missiles as well as some dicks. This is gonna be a work of art when I'm done with it.
Anywho, it's been one of those weeks where it just seems like it never ends.
It's been a weird week, man. Weird week.
We will see if Richard Dreyfuss gets put on the ban list. I'd hate to do that.
Well, that's the problem is that if you go...
Put me on the ban list? Put me on the ban list? I was in Jaws.
That's the bad thing is that if you start banning everybody that's got an accusation...
We're not going to have a show.
We might as well just shut the show down.
Yeah. Maybe we can get Richard Dreyfuss to Skype in. You're in the hot seat.
Do a Jaws audio commentary.
Did you ever put your ding-a-ling on someone's shoulder?
That would be like,
Quint, if we can get her back into the hotel room, I have things in my satchel that will kill it.
Richard Dreyfuss would be like, guys, I love you all, but if I take this job, people are going to realize that your podcast is the only job that I can get, and no.
Richard Dreyfuss wears some headphones.
Yes.
Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Sorry.
It made me feel very uncomfortable.
Oh, great.
Damn it, Tuttle!
Daniel Marshall cigar tonight.
I like Daniel Marshall.
Besides delve into the world of social politics, we also smoke cigars, drink beer, and talk about movies.
Hey, before you do that real quick, I got to remind everybody that go to our website. Go click on the Amazon deal. We get a little kickback for it. Helps us pay the bills around here. You know you got some Christmas shopping to do. You know you're going to wait to the last minute. So wait till that last minute. Go to the TNCC site. Click on the Amazon. Do your shopping. Everything's
If they
cool.
rent movies on Amazon Demand, if they go to our site first, do we get a kick of the rentals?
I think so.
So if we talk about it,
why not?
like the movie we talk about tonight, if they decide they want to go watch it, if they go through those channels, we'll get a little piece of that.
I think so, yeah. And I would do it because that's where I watched the movie on, and it was excellent.
I watched it on Amazon. You guys watch it on Amazon?
Yes.
I did.
There you go. Did any of you go through the Tuesday Night Cigar Club website to do it?
No.
I did not.
No. Neither did I.
But you can't
do that on the Roku.
Do not follow our bad examples.
This was no website accident.
Tomorrow night when I'm renting...
Can I get a glass of Paulaner, please?
Tomorrow night when I'm renting Mr. Holland's penis, Mr. Holland's opus, I will go through the proper channels.
I was in another stakeout.
Is it Rosie O'Donnell in that?
I think so,
I think
yeah.
she was. She was. So we are doing a Daniel Marshall cigar. Our first revisit of a cigar in our 62 episode history.
Yeah.
We did this one early, like first 10 shows.
Yeah.
With our last Schwarzenegger movie, actually, Maggie. We did the Daniel Marshall. Daniel Marshall is good friends with Arnold. And we paired the Daniel Marshall Red Label in 2015. Do we remember what beer we paired that with?
Love Street.
Love Street. Carbach?
Yes.
Carbach Love Street. We got really shitty that night. That's what I remember. What I remember is how
One
much
of us did.
I don't remember. You know what? Thanks for taking one for the team, asshole.
Oh, I mean, yes.
One of us. Don't lump us in. Anyway, it was a really good cigar. In fact, it was our number 3 cigar of 2015. Just a really good tobacco taste. The one we have tonight, you can see they've updated their band. It was a maroon, a really dark band back in 2015. Now it's a very bright red band with gold trim. It's got the DM initials in the middle. But the cigar itself, the blend itself, has not changed. It is, tonight we're smoking 6.5 by 54 Torpedoes. The wrapper is 5-year-old Nicaraguan Habano, Colorado shade wrapper, with Nicaraguan binder and filler. The filler is Esteli in Jalapa Valley. From the Daniel Marshall website, I'll read you this. Since 1982, Daniel Marshall has been synonymous with excellent craftsmanship and excellence, and has now teamed up with cigar legends Manuel Quesada and Nestor Plasencia to create the Daniel Marshall Red Label cigar. Real quick, Daniel Marshall is legendary in the cigar world, not for cigars. Humidors. He makes the
fancy
schmancy humidors. They do have some in the low hundreds, that small desktop units.
Fancy humidors.
But I mean, his humidors are the best of the best.
They're beautiful.
But he has, last few years really come out strong with the cigars. Daniel Marshall Red Label combines the finest quality 5-year aged tobaccos from 2 of Nicaragua's premium growing regions, like I said, Esteli and the Jalapa Valley, all wrapped in a super premium Colorado wrapper, making the Daniel Marshall Red a medium to full-bodied cigar that delivers an elegant smoke with notes of rich chocolate, espresso, and cinnamon.
Tell the viewers what's up with the, sorry to interrupt, but what's up with the Colorado thing?
I sure will. Real quick, let me finish. Not only does Daniel Marshall start with tobaccos that are aged 5 years, but then after they're boxed, they age an additional 12 months. to ensure that each cigar is as smooth and flavorful as the last one. The Daniel Marshall Red Label cigar, born with a rich Nicaraguan history and then brought to life in the United States with an eye towards perfection.
I do like the look of this thing.
Colorado is a shade, much like Maduro.
Yeah.
You're not actually describing the origin of the leaf, or it's a shade. It's the color of the wrapper leaf. Okay. So Colorado is, I've always associated with a very dark brown.
Thought it was a state next to Utah.
Not
Utah be wrong.
A little bit darker. You might get into Maduro territory where you get to almost a blackish.
Terrible. I'm drawing another dick.
And then even further than Maduro, you get into the Oscuro, which is the pitch black, like the League of Nines, Partagas black, those type of things. So just Colorado's, to me, it's always been just almost a reddish, dark, deep brown.
I like it. It's a very rustic look to it.
It's got a real
it looks like a cigar.
Yeah, but rub your thumb down that wrapper. It's very slick.
That is assault.
Very oily. You can feel the veins. Just tickle the veins on the cigar.
As I caress the shaft. It is.
Now that's assault. Oh, God, tonight.
Oh, my God, there's no part of the cigar.
Speaking of which, there aren't many noticeable veins in this sucker. It's a very pretty wrapper. But it is oily. You can really feel the oil on this thing. No? You're not even rubbing your fingers. I've been watching you.
I'm just saying, there's huge veins on this thing.
Now you're getting into the spirit of things. That takes me back to the Stallone allegations from today. But I'm not gonna get into that. I don't want that to be true. Oh God, I don't want that to be true.
Wait, what are we gonna do? We're gonna not watch a Stallone movie ever again?
Well, at this point, I'm still okay. I'm excited to revisit this. It's an Arnold movie. It's only our second. No, we did Running Man. I'm sorry. It's our third. Our third Arnold movie, but I'm excited to revisit. Daniel, like I said, Daniel Marshall and Arnold are friends. They hang out a lot. Obviously, Daniel Marshall is a German fellow. I believe he originates from Germany. So our movie is focused on Austrian character. We got a German cigar. German beer.
Daniel Marshall.
The name kind of threw me off. Daniel Marshall. Herr Marshall.
I'll check on a break. I'm pretty sure he's German. Or Austrian or something.
You sure about that?
He's not from here. I know that.
We've narrowed it down from German to Austrian to not from here.
He's not from Central Texas. I can guarantee that. No, he's got an accent.
Does he?
Yes, he has a very thick European accent. Yes.
Okay. Mincy, hit me with your East German accent.
Das ist ein Bier!
Does he sound like that?
Sort of.
Well, I mean, it could be anybody.
So can einen Dummkopf, look at a Smartphone, Geschellschnaft.
I've heard him and Arnold talking German
that really
together.
Sounds like you're speaking German.
Some of it is. It's just not actually in any sort of,
comprehensible language.
Right.
Okay.
Just gibberish.
While I look up where the hell this guy's from, would you tell us about tonight's German beer? Can we agree it's a German beer?
It is a German beer.
Right.
In fact, it's a very well-known German beer. Paulaner Salvator. It is a Doppel Bock, and their own description, with its strong, typically malty taste, is the original Paulaner. The bottom fermented Doppel Bock beer unites the finest hops and dark barley malt. The Paulaner monks served Salvator as a replacement for food at Lent. Their most
oh, nice. I do that a lot. Liquid breakfasts.
Brewing the Salvator in and gave it this name in 1773, and they trademarked it Salvator in 1896. Paulaner itself, the monks started brewing beer in 1634 in Munich. They were known as and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Minim Friars. So the Benedict.
Am I the only one who just really loves the image of the beer making monk? The Friar.
If you actually look at the
like my favorite character in Robin Hood is Friar Tuck.
Oh yeah, man. Well, that's what friars did. They made
awesome.
beer. If you actually look, they're on their logo.
They took a vow of celibacy so they didn't have to cope with women. And they drank all the time.
Friars were celibate, correct?
Maybe they drank.
Fucking geniuses.
Well, maybe they drank because they took a vow.
The monks, the guys making the beer were celibate, correct?
Usually they did take a
Oh yeah, you're gonna get fucked up. So. Friday night, man. Come on.
Why did they name it Salvatore?
Yeah, that doesn't sound German.
It's not a very German name. Kind of like Daniel Marshall.
I don't know about you boys, but after I have this glass of mead, I'm gonna go see what the old peasant lady's doing down by the windmill. No, Friar! You took a vow! Fuck your vows.
Do we know?
I'm drunk.
Do we know why Salvatore?
No, that I don't know. The Paulaner is one of the 6 breweries which provide all of the beer at Oktoberfest in Germany, which has been going on since 1810.
Is Paulaner like a good German beer? Like, I mean, do other Germans look at Paulaner and like, yeah, that's a respectable beer?
Oh yeah,
it's not like some of these beers that we get over here that we're like, oh, this is Australian for beer. No, it's Australian for shitty beer.
Well, like I said, in Munich, Paulaner is amongst the 6 large
Australia
breweries that put on Oktoberfest and are
live in the southern
prominent
hemisphere.
within Munich and in Bavaria.
So it's a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I love the name Bavaria.
And the Salvatore itself, as I said, it is a Doppel Bock, which, as we all know, Bocks are basically just beers that have pictures of goats on them.
Is that the definition? He's the beer expert. You know your shit. No.
No, it's so true.
Is there a goat on this thing?
No, he's talking about Shiner.
Oh.
No, but the Doppelbock, they're even stronger than your standard Bock. Generally as a description is a very full-bodied flavor, and they range in color from dark amber to nearly black. And some of the other versions come in with roasted barley flavors, chocolate, things like that. So
okay, this definitely pours more of an amber than a dark.
Worksheets got me all over the place.
But I mean, it's also slightly unfiltered. I mean,
It's beautiful beer. I like it.
The pour is beautiful. It has that amber color. I was expecting when you hear chocolate, you hear things like that. You expect a much darker. No, it's damn near red.
Yeah, it's almost like this. Apparently, a double bock is how I want my reds to taste, but they never do.
Correct. I don't like reds.
Yeah, they never taste like this, and I like doubles. I like the box, double box.
Which double box do you like?
I like Paulaner double bock.
That's weird. Look, I got 2 different colored backs. Is it the same?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Speaking of friars, there's a Belgian beer called the Reverend.
Okay.
And it's called a triple. So is that considered a triple bock, or is that a triple ale of some kind?
Ooh.
It's like 9.9% alcohol.
No,
or
I just know them as triples, but they don't have this profile at all. They're a lot floral.
Yeah, triples almost like a.
It's been a while since I had. It's been a while since I had one, but the one I had kind of reminds me of this.
Triples are good.
It's kind of like a pills and infused with a million flowers and herbs, but good somehow.
And coriander.
And coriander.
It's in there.
It's in there. Okay.
I
first thought, I just again a very impressive pour. Doctor, would you say generous head?
I would say the head was nothing if not generous.
Very viscous.
I've seen better, actually.
Viscosity is thick.
Yes.
But boy, good, smooth. It's actually kind of creamy on the front.
It is creamy.
And not very bitter at all. What are IBUs on this?
28.
Oh, nothing.
The ABV is 7.9. So it is stronger in terms of alcohol, but I mean, definitely doesn't taste it.
No, not at all. It's actually kind of smooth. It's smooth.
Yes. It is. Speaking of, can you smoothly give me another one?
Well, I can't promise it'll be smoothly. Okay. I was unable to find out where Daniel Marshall's from, but let's just go with it. He has an accent. I'm telling you, I've seen interviews with the guy. He's got an accent.
That's weird. That's a Black Label too. Yeah. Yeah.
So far so good with the beer. You guys have. I'm gonna wait. You guys are just now lighting up. I'll get back to the cigar in a minute.
Why don't you tell us about this wonderful movie we're going to do?
Well, I mentioned we were doing our third Arnold movie in 62 episodes. Which,
fantastic.
As big a fans we are, you think maybe we would have gone to that well more, but we haven't.
No.
Well, it gets to a point where you're like, man, remember that scene and how cool that was?
It was awesome.
No, we did Maggie back in the early days, but midway.
Which was an awesome movie. And it was totally like not what most people think of an Arnold flick, and you're wrong, and you should watch it.
At the end of this, we're going to talk about our top 3 most underrated Arnold movies, and I wouldn't be surprised to hear Maggie pop up on some of y'all's list.
Yeah.
We really like Maggie. Then we did Running Man when it tied into kind of the government overstepping some things. We kind of tied
By the way,
that
Running Man recently turned 30.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
30 years.
It and Predator just had their 30ths. But tonight we're doing a brand new spanking Arnold movie. Well, I hesitate to call it an Arnold movie. It is a movie that Arnold makes
Arnold's in it.
An appearance in.
Yeah.
Killing Gunther, 2017's Killing Gunther. Written and directed by Taran Killam, best known for spending 5 or 6 seasons on Saturday Night Live.
As well as he was also on Mad TV.
He was the only guy to ever be on both Mad TV and Saturday Night Live. The fact that you didn't know he was on Saturday Night Live.
But I'm not that big of a Saturday Night Live guy. After I got out of high school, I had things to do.
Well, first of all, I say it was written and directed by him. Do you realize he's also the star, the Blake, the main assassin? Okay, yeah. I didn't know if you. Okay. My first inkling was, wow, he was on that show for 5 or 6 seasons, and I can't think of one. And I watched SNL pretty regular, not the night of usually, but I'll dip in. I have a memory of him being there a lot, and from what I read, he was used a lot by not one character, not one.
Can't think of anything that he's done. Yeah.
Which after this movie, I understand why.
Disagree.
I'll be at his co-star.
We'll get to that. Someone else in this movie was with him on Saturday Night Live during that whole run.
Yeah.
Who's actually a comedic actor and is funny. We'll talk about him a lot. He's the only funny thing in this movie.
Johnny.
Well, should we get started, boys?
Yeah.
You know what? Smoke a little bit. I
don't know why I haven't even lit this thing, because it's beautiful, and I don't.
Could it have been all the extra scotch you let him have before the show started?
Why are you looking at me like it was me?
You're his handler.
Since when?
I could have swore I told you.
It's like Tutco.
That might be on me.
Let's get this in writing.
Did you check your fax machine?
Let's get this in writing. I'm going to use my fancy pencil.
I sent you a fax.
I'm going to write this down.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In pencil.
No, it's a beautiful cigar.
It can't be changed after that.
Appearance-wise, it is gorgeous.
Appearance-wise, I'm like.
You don't see a lot of the Colorado shade that you see a lot of Connecticut, a lot of just kind of straight down the middle natural brown. Mm-hmm. Then you quickly jump into the Maduros and the Oscuro. It is just a really rich dark brown cigar.
It looks like a cigar,
but there's not a lot of veins. Not a lot of it just, and like I said, just the feel of it. I mean, it's just got a really slick texture to it. I'm a big fan of the look, and I'm a big fan of the band change.
The bright, I like the darker one actually.
Oh, I don't. It blended in with the cigar too much.
That's what I liked about it. I understand why you like it. It's got a high contrast value. It's very eye catching.
I do, and I'm not a fan of red anything, but I like it. I like it.
I like the dark one.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, well, should we dive into the movie, and then I'll rejoin us with cigars here in a little bit? You think after 62 episodes I know what I'm doing here, but you never quite.
No, I guess just this one time.
All right. After we sit through a listing of all 10 production entities that it took to finance this thing, some cheesy as all hell rock music starts playing over a series of newspaper clippings telling us just how elusive and mysterious the world's greatest assassin, Gunther, is. Nobody knows his real height, his weight. They don't have any clue what he looks like. You see, he's a master of disguise.
He could be a woman. They were like, no, Gunther's definitely a woman, not a woman.
He also does his killings in grand fashion. Apparently, he once was brought onto the court in a NBA game, made a half-court shot, then killed the mascot and drove away in the car they were giving away. He also wiped out a family of 15 koala bears, which is
Come on, some of this is funny as hell.
That's pretty badass. Who hasn't wanted to do that at some point?
Let's face it. I mean, koalas are assholes.
Doctor's been wanting to go on a koala expedition for years. We just can't afford it. We don't have the money. I'm sorry.
There are those who say they can and those who say they can't, and you know what? They're both right.
He's right.
Doctor's a philosopher.
He's right.
Who knew?
Intermixed with all this terrible music and opening credit shim-sham, we're simultaneously introduced to several other hitmen. Starting off with Blake, the film's director, Taram Killam. Then explosives expert Donald Pisnowski, a.k.a. Donnie, played, as Yak Boy mentioned, by fellow Saturday Night Live vet, an actual funny person, Bobby Moynihan.
Boom Boom. He's trying to get that.
He's trying to get the nickname Boom Boom going.
Puppet class.
Next, we meet up with the stunningly beautiful and oh so deadly expert markswoman. Is that?
Yes, markswoman.
Markswoman. Sana.
Hannah Simone. Oh,
Sana.
man alive.
Where have we seen her?
She was on.
Haven't I seen her?
She was on the TV show New Girl.
Never saw it.
That was the only reason worth turning into that show.
I liked her.
Well, she's, if nothing else, she's just.
She's stunning.
Am I going to get in trouble for saying this? She's gorgeous.
No, she is. She is stunning.
Stunning. After the credits and the fake explosions and the fake bullet wounds that we see everybody getting, when all that ends, a text emerges on screen from the filmmakers whose footage we're about to watch. They put up a little message explaining this to us. In early 2016, it says, we were contacted by an anonymous source looking to hire a documentary film crew. We took the job. So from this point on, everything you're going to see in this movie is from this documentary film crew.
Mockumentary.
A mockumentary. Well, even mockumentary implies fun and laughs.
Oh, come on, man! You're gonna poo all on this. See, I don't want to do this. I'm done.
Oh, you mean like you've done for like 80% of the shit we've done on this fucking podcast?
It's different when I do it. It's funnier when I do it. You're pooing on my movie, man.
Yeah, texting me during the movie like, oh, this shit is such a rockin' good time. And I'm like, you fucking. Well, we join the real quick. Everybody's lit up. Just real quick, very immediate first impression.
I only had like 2 puffs on it.
Too soon. Too soon. All right, you know what? Just keep it up there and we'll talk.
Other than the
Doctor,
draw,
you're with me.
Other than the draw's awesome.
You know what? You puff away, Doctor. What are you feeling?
Excellent draw, excellent burn, as you can see here in the early stages. I like it.
I don't remember.
Can't really pick up much in the way of a flavor, but it's.
You know what? That was the thing on the original too. I think it was just a really good, rich tobacco flavor, which is there from the get-go.
Like it.
I am getting a little more. It's not an overpowering spice at all on the retro hail, but there is a little bit of heat there that I don't remember.
I actually got a little bit of pepper off of the cold draw, which was kind of unusual.
But just you know, there I'm getting a little bit of pepper on the nose. But so far, I'm with the Doctor. I'm not getting any discernible flavors other than just like a really rich, almost sweet tobacco flavor.
It's a nice.
I had that just the aroma off before I lit up. I mean, it smelled sweet. I couldn't say that it was a sugar or just a general sweetness. Almost.
It's like borderline graham, but it's not graham.
Right. And I was like, you know, as soon as I lit up, I also got that sweetness on the initial draw, and that has since died down. And I've smoked literally maybe a quarter inch.
To me,
a little bit of heather honey.
Yes, that's what it is. Having never tasted it before ever, I can tell you
that
is
the hell's heather honey.
It was from remember the old cigar pairing guide?
Oh, okay.
That was one of their things.
Heather honey.
Heather honey.
You pretentious.
So far to me, every sweetness I'm getting though is just strictly from the tobacco. It's just a very. I think I may have said it 50 episodes when we did this thing the first time. It just has a really rich tobacco sweetness to it.
Yeah.
All right, well, come back. Y'all smoke up. The doctor's got a beautiful ash going. Is that assault?
I was uncomfortable with you saying I have a beautiful ash.
Well, we joined the documentary crew in a swing.
Kiss my ash.
Swing. That's actually another podcast. Okay. We legally can't say that here. We joined the documentary crew in a swanky hotel room as Blake sits down in front of the camera to explain why he's hired them to follow him around. He's committed to kill that fucking asshole Gunther, he says. In order to be the king, you got to kill the king.
Woo!
And he wants them there to document him taking down the greatest hitman to ever live.
He's wearing his thin tie, his
he's
shiny suit.
Very British.
Very suave.
It's very Kingsman-esque.
Very Daniel Marshall-esque.
I've never seen him.
He wears a lot of fancy suits.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
again, you guys are just going to trust me on these Daniel Marshall.
we're gonna take your word for it.
And he's going to do this. He's going to take down Gunther by assembling the most unstoppable team anyone has ever seen. We then cut away to the documentary team interviewing. Remember those assassins that we just were introduced to in the opening credits? We go back and get introduced to them again. We're 5 minutes in the film. We're already
2 times, just so you really work who it is. You're going to be.
I kind of got who they were the first time, but all right, it's been 5 minutes. Let's go back and meet them again. We learned
at this point, I'm having fun.
We learned that Donnie, Boom Boom, played by SNL vet Moynihan, first blew up a nagging coworker when he worked down the coal mines years ago.
It was actually fantastic.
And it was me.
It was me the whole time. I killed him.
It felt so good that he decided that's what he wanted to do the rest of his life, was blow people up.
Someone was great in this.
I did like that character.
Really,
and
they laced that tunnel with dynamite. I didn't tell him. It was all me.
He is really good in this.
I haven't watched Saturday Night Live with any regularity in well over a decade. I had no idea either one of those guys was on it. I did enjoy that character. He was funny.
Unlike Taron, Bobby Moynihan, I immediately think he does a drunk uncle character.
Oh, yeah.
Where he'll show up on the weekend update on the news, and he's got his glass of scotch, and it is my drunk uncle, and it's one of the funniest goddamn things you'll ever see. But he's great in this. There, I'm saying something nice. He is so good in this.
You have to. I mean, if you would have said that he sucked in this, you'd lose all credibility.
Well, he's very good. It's not hard to shine in this thing, though, is it?
I thought Terry. Well, we'll get on.
Zing.
Then we go. Remember the exotic and gorgeous Sanaa?
Sanaa.
Well, we go back and meet her again.
Sanaa.
She tells us that her first kill was at the age of 8. You see a little girl with a bazooka. You see, her father and mentor is a world-famous assassin, and he's constantly tagging along with her.
The Sand Spider? Not the Sand Spider?
No. Much
albeit that is scary.
It'd be funny, though, if it was the Sand Spider from True Lies. In fact, he's such a fan of hers and teaching her to become the world's greatest assassin, he wears a T-shirt that says Sanaa's
He's literally,
#1
as she's
fan.
killing people, he's behind her cheering him. It's my little girl.
It's my little
He's
girl.
wearing a T-shirt that says Sanaa's #1 fan, which is this film's humor in a nutshell.
Which it also, there's a scene where she's like, she is assassinating a dude with a sniper rifle, but it literally is a .50 caliber sniper rifle
that doesn't move
and then
at
they
all.
show you
It doesn't move at all.
It doesn't move at all, but then they show you the target who is like 30 yards away. I'm like, that dude would be like exploded.
I know.
Well, there's also computer geek Gabe. I bet Tut loved Gabe. No.
He was my least favorite of all of them.
Oh, you felt he was stereotypical nerd, like.
Or not nerdy enough.
It just wasn't funny.
Oh, I would have figured him for a big Gabe guy.
It just wasn't funny.
He's in charge of intel, technology, and whatnot. And there's also the group's secret weapon. My favorite member of the team. A 104-year-old black man named Ashley.
How do you not like Ashley?
Who taught Blake everything he knows, and he's sworn revenge on Gunther for a betrayal many, many years ago.
Come on, man.
Unfortunately, during Ashley's interview, he has a heart attack,
But no, it does show you one of Ashley's kills, which is absolutely hilarious. When he's like 103 up there, just kind of and it's funny.
Well, he's rushed to the hospital where he has to stay off his feet for a month or so. So he's not going to be much help on this mission. Therefore, Blake must seek out some other hitmen to join the team. First up, there's Izzat, a.k.a. Crusher, former terrorist who lost an arm while strapping a suicide vest to someone, and now he has a giant red mechanical arm that can crush stuff. He's kind of like, remember that guy with the Flash or Supergirl that fought that red... It was Supergirl. It was the guy in the red battle suit. It was like a robot.
Oh, okay.
Kind of remind me of that.
Yeah, okay.
Then there's Pak Yong Kui, an effeminate Asian assassin who only uses poisons.
Oh,
little bottles of trash. Did you tap that ass?
No, it tapped itself out.
Tapped itself out?
It decided to die rather than continue living with me.
That's sad. Pak Yong Kui, he throws little vials of poison at people.
I'll just draw another dick.
He's afraid of guns, and even the sight of blood makes him vomit all over the place. Next up are the Bela Kalakova twins, who are best known as the psychotic maniacs who blew up a Russian stadium filled with 14,000 people. They all burned alive. I have to stop here and mention that none of these characters, with the exception of Demolition Donnie, Boom Boom, are memorable, well acted, or the least bit funny.
Oh!
So I feel kind of stupid giving you all these details, but we have a cigar to smoke tonight. We got to talk about something.
Oh!
I can't just not talk about the movie.
All right.
The Asian dude was fucking funny, man. The Asian guy
Doctor,
was...
help me out here.
I can't disagree with Cade. The Asian guy did one thing that made me laugh, which is coming up here with their opening firefight. That one got a laugh out of me. But yeah,
I was about to say I laughed so hard my neighborhood woke up.
I'm not as hard. I won't be as harsh on Taron as Cade is.
I think when you're making a comedy and your lead actor isn't funny, you got a problem.
He was funny. I mean, he wasn't like
he wasn't a total loss for me.
Yeah.
There were things I liked that he did. I liked Moynihan, but yeah, as far as the rest of the crew, Hannah Simone could paint her nails for 90 minutes and I'd watch it. As far as the rest of them, I can't disagree. Really, that there weren't really anything memorable.
Well, you know what? I'm going to flesh some of these. We're going to flesh some of these characters out. Maybe I'll warm up. My notes are a stream of conscious thing. I can change my mind.
Yeah,
maybe by the end of the movie, I'm like, you know what? I can't believe how I felt at the beginning. I love this movie.
You can change your mind, but I'll lose all respect for you.
That's not going to happen.
I've got my theory about why you're doing on this.
Your theory would be wrong.
It is right.
He doesn't like it because Arnold's not in it enough.
That's right.
It's not it at all.
That's right.
Although, if you say that this movie wouldn't be better with him in it throughout the whole thing, you're crazy.
It would have been better, but it was still not a trash movie.
The worst part is that our main character here, Blake, is especially unfunny and unlikable, and since we're hitching our trailer to him pretty much exclusively for the first hour before we meet Arnold even shows up, to me that's extremely problematic when I'm that disconnected from the main character.
I didn't think he was totally unfunny. It's nothing that was. I will agree that there was nothing memorable about it. I didn't think he was as bad.
And I'll agree with that, Mincy. I think that he's not
serviceable. Is not.
I mean he's not like knock you off.
Right, agreed. Serviceable is not a compliment.
When you, I'm going to keep this into the world of Saturday Night Live.
Unless you're talking. Well, I almost said something very sexist.
I'm going to keep this in the world of.
Pull back on the reins.
This is a 5 or 6 year SNL vet.
Some of the Doc's dates have been serviceable.
Headlining his first film. 5 or 6 seasons on SNL. He's doing his first film where his name is the first name you see on the credits.
I thought it was a respectable deal. I thought it was okay.
Think of other SNL guys that in this role that would have Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Will Ferrell,
Chris Kattan.
I was about to say Saturday.
No, damn you, Doctor.
Exactly. Saturday Night Live has had its share of bombs.
I think Jim Brewer rocking.
Oh, come on, man.
No.
As Go Boy. All right, he didn't do it for me.
Go Boy the Assassin?
It happens. He didn't do it for me.
That's fine.
Remember Go Boy?
I do remember Go Boy.
That was good. Now, having said that, the scene where Blake gathers his squad together in an old warehouse to go over his plan does have the only true laugh out loud moment for me in this movie. Gunther shows up as they're talking on a nearby rooftop and launches a rocket down at their team.
Well, before you go there, another person who just shows up, which he's just fodder, but he shows up like, I know the location, I got it, and then Gunther shoots him in the head, which was absolutely hilarious.
First he shoots the zip drive
that he's holding
with the secret location, and then he shoots him in the head. And then Gunther proceeds to launch a rocket down on the team.
Well, no, they start firing back, and I think this is the best thing ever. Our poison assassin lobs a bottle of poison out the window.
That was funny. Cover me. Just throw it 10 feet. That was funny.
I didn't see, you know what? I honestly didn't see that coming. It cracked me up.
It was totally great, man.
Because I was like, all right, now, this is where I literally said, that guy's an idiot. I thought, please shoot him next.
There's two things. Is that one was the bottle. To me, the bottle scene was the biggest laugh of the entire movie.
That's not even the biggest. That's not even the one I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the bottle scene's my favorite laugh of it. I do like when he's like, I throw up at the sight of the blood, and the first time that he sees blood, he throws up. But then, like the second time, they don't show it, which I love it. You just hear it off screen, and I love the fact that they paid that kind of attention to detail to where you just hear this dude throw up in the background.
At one point, he like nicks his finger and he sees his own blood and throws up.
That was the first one, yeah.
Well, Gunther blows the shit out of this warehouse with the rocket, but the documentary crew, of course, has been filming everything. So Blake demands they get the footage up on the monitors and they look at it. If they were filming, they probably got a good shot of Gunther out the window. Well, Blake tells Geeky Gabe, the tech guy who's running this, once they get the footage, you can barely see Gunther up on the rooftop. There he is.
He's just a black blob of
and
pixels.
Then he puffs out his chest smiling. Gabe, enhance image. And Gabe looks at him and is like,
that's not a thing.
What's that? He's like, enhance the image. That's not a thing. Like that's not how technology works. It's like, make that little picture of Gunther big and
we've seen this like in dozens of we've literally seen this in dozens of movies.
Everyone starts naming these TV shows. They do it on CSI. They do it on Person of Interest. They do it, and he's like, that's just not how this doesn't work like that.
Come on, man.
That was funny. I laughed heartily at that. That was funny. There may be a few other places I chuckled. We'll see. Well, now, with one of his men dead, his buddy who showed up, I didn't bother introducing that guy. Blake says it's personal. Which, of course, is. You're trying to kill this guy. Like,
well, they were hitmen. They were being professional. Now it's personal.
The filmmakers ask, hasn't it always been somewhat personal, Blake? As they tell him that they interviewed his ex-girlfriend, Lisa, a former hitwoman herself, who they learned had a passionate sexual relationship with Gunther that led to her breakup with Blake. Lisa is played by Colby Smulders.
Colby Smulders? Do you know she's married to...
Yeah, she's his real-life wife. Blake's wife in real life.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
She is of How I Met Your Mother fame.
She's also
Shield
Marvel.
Agent Maria Hill and all the Marvel stuff.
I think she was in the last Jack Reacher movie also.
Yes.
Jack Reach Around? What?
Jack Reach Around. Yeah, that's a different movie.
Oh, that
but
is
on a little bit.
That is a
cooler
different
trivia
movie.
note. Gilliam's
that's our Tim Cruise.
great
right?
aunt.
Tim Cruise.
Who's
Tim
what?
Cruise. Gilliam's great aunt, Rosemary Stack.
Yes, his great uncle is Robert Stack of Unsolved Mysteries and Airplane fame.
Get me Rex Kramer.
How's that for a
lineage?
Lineage, right? But yes, he is married to her in real life. She's a beauty, and she's good in this role.
Yeah, she's an interesting presence.
Yeah, she's gonna get a strong jawline.
Yeah, it's like she's not like drop dead gorgeous, but she is beautiful.
She's pretty. She's not a classical beauty. You're right. I don't know what it is, but something's different about her. Blake swears as they're telling her about this, he's never heard of her. Lisa, I don't know who crazy bitch you were talking to. I never heard about her. And then they play a voicemail of his that he left for her that she shared with them, where he's crying and begging for her to come back to him, and finally he just can't deny it anymore. He grabs the phone, stop playing that. But we learned that Lisa has moved on. Now that she's retired from being a hitman, she runs her own erotic clay party business. Hey Claydies is the name of the business.
Get chunky?
I promise I'll never say that again. Where she goes over to ladies' homes and bachelorette parties and teaches them how to sculpt massive clay dildos and whatnot. Has Tut ever invited you to one of his erotic clay parties?
No.
And I hope he never does.
You know what? Surprisingly, I had a really good time.
Oh.
I'm not just saying that, Tut. That was fun.
Thank you. We put a ton of effort into it.
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell. And I can only imagine the cleanup.
Can I be like the other assassin that just throws up? Hearing things like that?
62 episodes. It is amazing. None of us have barfed on the table at this point. Just like in the middle of
well, we're not going to make it to 63. Great.
Colby Smulders. That sounds kind of like an adult artist. How have we not done that? Let's not start tonight, boys.
Oh, because, we're professionals.
No, we are professional internet beer experts. Are you guys enjoying the beer?
I love this beer.
It is easy drinking.
It's very easy drinking.
It is technically considered a food.
Yeah. I like the creaminess of it. I do like the hardiness of it.
Got some malts.
Yep.
It is.
Got some malts at work in there. It's funny. We're here mid-November, and as you can tell if you're watching us on YouTube, we're all wearing short sleeves. It was 80 basically today. Looking back over the last few years, usually at this point we're kind of, sweatered up and get a little bit cooler weather. But this is a good beer for whatever this weather is we're having, where it's cold in the mornings.
Yeah, this is
it's
both.
cool in the mornings and hot in the afternoon, and this could fit anything.
I agree. I like it.
And it's pairing nice with the cigar. I like the pairing. Tut, now that you're finally a little bit in the cigar, what are you getting off of there?
I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
It's all that scotch.
God, how much did you guys have to drink?
It's him, just him. He was supposed to stop him.
No. I think one of the interesting things is that since I have learned to retrohale,
Wait, I need to write
and
that
I have
down.
retrohaled a little bit
I'm too
more.
drunk to taste this
It'll
chicken.
be the opening quote in the front of the episode.
It's a Talladega Nights quote. Come on. There's a little bit of breadiness on the retrohale. Not like
On
a
the
big
retrohale?
Yeah, not like a big yeast deal, but I mean it's just a little bit doughy. I didn't pick that up the last time we did it. Other than that, man, it does have it doesn't have a strong Lajero profile to where like it's got a bunch of strength pumped up into it, but it does have just that cool earthy tobacco.
It is full bodied.
This is one of the few cigars that I'm smoking leaves. I'm smoking tobacco leaves. A lot of cigars, they actually have like so many different
No, I'll give you that.
profiles going on, so many different flavors.
The quality
going
of the
on.
tobacco definitely stands out. And when I say it's full bodied, I'm not saying it's full strength. It is to me, it's a medium strength cigar. Like you said, there's not a lot of Lajero kicking you in the nuts. But full body, just that rich tobacco is just
Right.
It's filling.
Right.
I mean, it's really really overwhelming. The sense of it's got a sweetness to it, it's got a richness to it. It's
And
just
the retrohale is really easy.
and you know what?
Very
You
pleasing.
mentioned bready. I am getting some creaminess too on the retrohale that I didn't get 2 years ago when we first did the cigar. I'm getting more nuances on the retrohale that I didn't get before.
I wonder if that's
You probably I'm wondering if it's with you. You didn't retrohale 2 years ago.
No, I didn't.
So that's all new to you.
Yeah.
But let's keep it. Doctor, you still digging it?
Yeah. Definitely saw the draw and the burn and everything. Very easy draw.
Construction's been really
not
good.
an overwhelming flavor, but I like it for, I guess.
The ash does not hang around for too long.
No.
Mine hasn't been. You got to watch it. You got to watch that ash. But draw has been perfect airflow through, and haven't had to relight one bit. Okay, well, so far so good. And there's nothing about the beer and the cigar that are clashing with one another.
No. I think the creaminess of the beer might be enhancing the retrohale.
Very possible. After another failed attempt by old ass Ashley to get out of the hospital, he makes it 10 steps out the door this time before collapsing again.
This character, I don't know. I just really like it.
Well, I like how Gabe, who's never met Ashley, tries to interact with him. Like, you scared us there, old timer. And he's like, who the fuck are you? Classic Ashley.
Classic Ashley. You barely know him.
It's what Blake's like, you've never met him before. Blake decides they can't wait for Ashley any longer. They head down to Miami to put out a fake 6-figure hit on a major arms dealer to draw Gunther out of the woodwork. Once there, they go weapons shopping at this enormous underground gun store that's a lot like the back room of Surplus City in Commando. Remember that place? And it's run by a real character named Cheyenne, who they should have made a movie about just him instead. Am I right?
He was good.
That guy's my favorite thing in the whole movie. How do you not make a movie about this guy?
I liked him.
He's singing like Willy Wonka, like "My world of great ammunition," and then he kind of like
That's Willy Wonka.
That's Willy Wonka. He's like this redneck, greasy, long-haired hoopy. I love that guy, Cheyenne. We never, of course, he's great. He's so great and so unique. We never see him again.
Yes, you do.
Well, briefly. Anywho, they're now all heavily armed and ready for action. After 12 long, boring days of van surveillance, Gunther finally makes his move, and this leads to a big shoot.
I do like. I'm sorry. I gotta. With our poison thrower, there's a scene between Crusher and the poison guy. And it's like, poison. Isn't that kind of? Don't you have to get really, really close to somebody? I thought that was fun.
And then he looks, and the guy's gone, and he's behind him. Like, touche. And at the gun store, the poisoner is also disappointed they don't have any small glass vials. And the guy's like, well, it is a gun store.
I'm sorry. I love this guy, man.
Well, during this battle, Gunther manages to strangle Izzat, the Crusher, with his own...
Oh, they set a trap. They set a trap for Gunther.
They set a trap for Gunther. He shows up. There's big shootout.
It's almost like a Scooby-Doo thing where they're running around like through the various doors.
Come out of a like grandfather clock. And
it's like, one door comes out.
So that's all I could think of because I just was waiting for like the music, like the little running thing.
It is. Eventually, he and Izzat get into a fist fight, and whenever Izzat's robotic arm starts to lose battery, it clenches into a fist. So Gunther puts it on his throat and lets it crush his windpipe and kills him. Gunther disappears at the end of the shootout. They get the hell out of there. When they review the documentary crew's footage, they see that Sanaa managed to shoot Gunther. But when they slow down the footage, of most interest to the team was he was wearing a very convincing Blake mask. He looks like their leader, Blake. He's got a perfect latex mask of him. So the rumors are true. He can literally make himself look like anybody. Which at this point I thought they were going to do something fun where they have like the thing where they think one of them is Gunther. And they like don't trust each other. No.
I thought they were going to go that route too.
I did too. They're like, wait a minute, he could be any of us. And they do something with that, but
because like there's that and even the next shootout, Sanaa kind of disappears for a little bit. They could have gone that route.
I thought that could be something, but they don't do that. The next morning, they get a tip that a man with a bullet wound where she shot Gunther is meeting with a doctor, kind of underground, Jeremy Piven heat doctor. So Blake's team surrounds the doctor's office. Demolition Donnie, Boom Boom, rigs some plastic explosive to go off under what they think is Gunther's vehicle. As he runs across the street from planting the bomb, Donnie jumps and tries to slide over the hood of a car. Right, that was funny.
Classic.
And he just kind of like rolls off, and he looks at the camera guys like, just edit that out. Like, I laughed at that. That's 2 times in 40 minutes I've laughed, by the way. And I'll take this opportunity. You say something bad, you say something good. Once again, Bobby Moynihan is very good in this movie. He steals the show. Well, of course, Gunther knew they were coming, so he's already rigged every car on the block to blow up. One after another, every single car just starts blowing up around them. The assassins take off running. He even fills the one car he didn't blow up. They hear a hissing noise and they open the trunk. He filled the trunk with deadly snakes, one of which leaps out and bites Yang, the poison guy, in the neck, killing him.
Come on, man.
The poisoner poisoned to death. Sweet irony.
Yeah, but what is best is as he's dying, is this what poison feel like? It sucks.
I thought that was a little funny.
As Gunther races away, he jumps out of the doctor's office and...
By the way, I hate the fact that one of my favorite assassins is now dead.
Well, I'm just saying.
Maybe they'll make a Yang movie. A prequel.
They should. They totally should.
A Yang too far?
Gunther jumps into a Dodge Charger and takes off. But Sanaa, once again, is waiting in an alleyway with her machine gun. Just starts filling the Charger full of bullets. It crashes into a fence.
Snaw's like the only competent.
She's the only one that's on task here. Sends it crashing into a fence, where Donnie runs up, finishes things off by tossing a grenade in the driver's side window, making anybody who's inside
That
burnt
car
toast.
is toast.
Burnt toast, anybody inside. And they check. There's 2 bodies in there, driver and Gunther. They did it, everybody. They killed Gunther.
Woo-hoo!
Now there's a really long celebration scene at a dive bar where they all celebrate Gunther's death by drinking, playing pool, singing karaoke. 2 karaoke songs we get to see.
It's awesome, and what's even better is Donnie's over there drinking booze.
Oh, the robot arm. Yeah, he actually saved his cyborg arm and is holding it and drinking at it.
He's drinking from taking shots from the
My
cyborg.
problem with this scene is that you could have cut it in half, kept all those cool parts like that, and saved the scene. They just took it so long.
Here's so long, and you know that it's not... They didn't kill him.
Yeah.
It's such a bullshit scene because we obviously know Gunther isn't dead.
It's not bullshit because you still got like the drinking out of the arm. That was funny. There's still some funny
You're
stuff
right. There
that's
was
coming
that
through there.
0.5 second moment of hilarity in a 10-minute
You get to
celebration
see the
scene.
Sanaa and Donnie development.
We as an audience have to sit there and watch these characters party, and it plays so flat. Correct, Doctor?
Again, I'm not quite as harsh on it as you.
Well, at the end of the night...
It was too long.
At the end of the night, Blake is... I just thought it didn't work because we know they didn't kill Gunther. We're watching them celebrate something that we know didn't happen.
But it's not out of the realm of character possibility that they think that they killed him, so they're going to fucking celebrate.
The world's best assassins wouldn't try to get some kind of ID, some kind of confirmation.
Come on, you've seen this movie. They're not the most competent assassins.
They're supposed to be.
The scene didn't need to be nearly that long.
Exactly. Now, I'll
It
agree
should have
with
been-
that.
It should have been 12 seconds long.
I won't go that far.
I'd be way too fucking harsh on it because y'all are butthurt.
Why are us liberal snowtards butthurt?
You snowtards.
Whatever. I can't believe you said butthurt. Like, who says that? Why are we butthurt?
That's something that like douchebag guys on sports radio say.
Yeah, like,
right.
why are we butthurt?
Well,
I'm gonna have to draw.
I'll wait till we
I'm gonna have to draw something else on
butt cheeks on there. Really
I'll
looking
wait till
forward
we
to the
get-
doctor's note sheet turned in at the end of the
I'll wait till we get a little bit more into this.
Okay.
I think if anyone's, I won't say that. I won't use that expression.
It is a very vulgar and bad
The
expression.
vulgarity is not what bothers me.
Hey, I'm just saying, this guy hadn't agreed with us on like any movie we've ever done, and
I have too.
I've never thrown out the butthurt.
I have too.
We'll see. Boy, this cigar does not hold an ash well.
No, it does not.
Draw's fine.
Draw's great.
Construction otherwise, but man, you just really got to watch that ash.
Yeah.
Where were we? Well, at the end of the night, after the karaoke singing and drinking is over, Blake is making out with the blonde bartender. Sanaa has pulled Demolition Donnie into her
Boom
hotel
boom
room.
for a little boom boom.
And Gabe has ended the night by strapping on his sleep apnea mask and getting some Z's.
Oh, say strapping something on.
You got really excited there.
Huh?
What version of this movie did you watch? No, Gabe strapped on a sleep apnea mask to get a good night's sleep. Only in the middle of the night, Blake is woken up by a racket out in the hotel hallway as Sanaa's assassin father is shooting at Donnie as he runs away while trying to pull his pants up. You see, someone sent the father a text posing as Blake alerting him that an American pig was defiling his Persian daughter, his Persian princess, if you will. Only Blake didn't send any such text, so Gunther is alive, they immediately realize, and he's playing games. He's playing with them. He's toying with us.
He's one step ahead.
He's one step ahead. And not only while he was there, he went ahead and killed the Russian twin brother and sister.
Finally, because
the
they really had nothing to offer.
He made him
but get this. He posed their bodies. He put them in the same bed. He put her hand down his underpants and his hand on her tit. And then in spray paint on the wall, he wrote, "Ew," and an arrow pointed down to them.
That was actually hilarious.
That was their best contribution to this film.
I'll give him that. That was funny.
And this is a case where I will be as harsh as Cade. You're right. That was the only contribution those two had to the film was dying.
Yeah, exactly. They really offered nothing. I mean, some of the Mickey Mouse comments were kind of...
that was a case where...
I liked how they were promised if they came to America and killed Gunther that they would get taken to tour Scott Wolf's house. Party of Five.
I forgot about that.
Was a random
that was kind of funny. I think there's just
that's actually how I got the doctor to do the podcast.
I'm still waiting.
Going to Scott Baio's house?
No, Scott Wolf's.
Oh,
Scott Baio, hell yeah. The hell with the wolf.
Scott Baio's a guy that uses butt hurt a lot.
Let's go party with Baio.
I feel bad that I
think Scott Baio threw out butt hurt in his GOP dress.
I made a comment about it on the back here.
By the way, you listeners,
Ted Nugent.
By the way, you listeners, we didn't make that up. Scott Baio actually gave an address at the Republican convention last year. Just let that sink in for a second. Scott Baio addressed the Republican National Convention. Chachi.
Charles in charge of...
I'm just picturing like everybody under the age of 28 going, who the fuck is this dude?
He's using words we like butthurt and snowflake and libtards.
Wait, snowtards. You got to coin that one.
I think
you did. I think you did.
Isn't that like those really tight things that like gymnasts wear? Like I'd like to see her in a libtard.
That's called a thong.
Unless you're
Leotard.
an ice skater.
Leotard.
Ice skaters
Leotard.
do wear snowtards, I believe. I don't know.
The skiers do.
Well, an annoyed Gunther by all this rats out Blake to the FBI. So Blake can't go home. The FBI is ransacking his place.
It's a bullshit move.
He has to.
That is a bullshit
He's like,
move.
hey, it's code of the hitman. You don't rat us out to the FBI.
You don't rat him out, man. Gunther is a snitch.
Well, you are trying to kill the guy for no reason
It doesn't
whatsoever.
matter. Did Stallone ever snitch on Antonio Banderas? No. Did Antonio Banderas ever snitch on Stallone? No.
This is kind of true.
Code of the Gladiators.
Code of the Gladiators? What the hell's a gladiator?
You weren't here for that one. Running Man episode?
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
Tut was so drunk, when Jesse Ventura's like, Code of the Gladiators. He's so drunk, he's like, Code of the Gladiators.
It's like half matador, half gladiator.
And one of our listeners made a poster of Tuttle in Russell Crowe's Gladiators. And he was like, Jason Tuttle in Code of the Gladiators.
Jason Tuttle is the gladiator.
It's pretty funny.
It was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. I believe that was a Justin.
It was Justin.
Got to Oliver
Guys
Reed.
like this with my bare hands 10 years ago.
Gladiators, we salute you.
Gladiators.
Gladiator versus Snowtard. New sci-fi movie I'm writing. It'll be on this summer.
Starring Scott Baio.
Scott Baio and Tiffany.
Man, I am watching that shit.
I've already written the sequel, Mega Snowtard.
Starring TNCC's Doctor.
I've never seen a Snowtard like this.
My God.
Yes, sweet raisins.
Oh, by the way, you weren't here last week.
I miss all the good shit.
He's got a new catchphrase.
Sweet raisins.
What do you like? You like it? Oh, no, he's coming to his notes.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
He's drawing another dick.
Anybody need a beer?
No.
I do.
Not yet.
You say yes?
I did.
Yeah, all right. You're right. There is a code where you don't rat each other out to the FBI, and Gunther did it. So Blake has to go live with Gabe at his little apartment. Donnie, meanwhile, is on the run from Sanaa's dad still. This guy's still chasing him around. Any chance he gets, he pops out with a sword trying to chop Donnie's head off or sleeping with his little girl.
You're like the most feared terrorist in the world, but you're going to kill this guy with a sword. All right.
But Donnie does find time to meet up with Blake long enough to call him out for getting all these people killed over his petty personal grudge against Gunther. It was never about Gunther, he says. It was about you, Blake. Blake's, admits he thought killing Gunther would be a grand romantic gesture that would drive Lisa back into his arms. But of course, those things never quite work out like they do in your head.
It's all about.
That's very true.
It's all about. So we get down to the bottom of the barrel. We get down to the true motivation.
The original name of the movie was Why We're Killing Gunther. I think the original intent of the movie was to be much more about
the relationship
and why Blake was doing this. I can see why the producers, the 10 different producers, are like, no, killing Gunther, short, sweet, lose the the time.
I like it, but let's introduce a Dalmatian. Every movie needs a Dalmatian.
And
this movie's gonna be huge with the snow tards.
There was about halfway through where I really felt like there was I was missing a lot that you could just tell that it was edited out, and it was more like a character study versus.
I think it was supposed to be more of a character study, and I'm glad they didn't spend more time in Blake's head. That's not a place I want to spend any time in. It's a mess. But I mean, I think that was a very apt point. Like, why were you doing this? You got all these people killed just trying to get your girl back. And there's a moment where he kind of realizes that and kind of acknowledges it, but then he still is gung-ho on killing Gunther and not willing to, take the foot off the gas. So it doesn't really make any sense.
Well, once you get the goal in your head, man, sometimes you just go for the goal.
Yeah, I guess if you're a goal-oriented, butt-hurt snow.
I guess if you're goal-oriented.
Yeah, I've never been real big on goals.
I'm sorry for saying your butt hurt. I feel bad for saying that.
Now's the part of the drunkenness where you get a little sad. I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
Don't you try to. No, we're not there. We're not there yet.
I am sorry for saying that.
We're not there yet.
But I am sorry for saying that.
Well, I accept your apology.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I'll erase that. But
we got at least another hour to do. What am I going to do? Like,
I'll erase that.
I got to try to make this work.
That's really my main thing. Is I just want the doctor to stop drawing dicks on me.
I knew giving out those worksheets last week was a risk, but I really underestimated with the doctor in the house.
I am making the most of this. I thought you'd appreciate the effort.
Yeah, the idea was to get a little.
You know what? Everybody can get a note taken about it.
Oh, damn it. The idea was,
Doctor has put so much effort into this.
The idea is we're reaching out to advertisers, a lot of which are cigar manufacturers. Every other blog site does review.
You told me that before I started drawing penises on here.
They do ratings. They do. That's going to be in our archives forever now. How are you coming on building those archives?
I have to build archives?
We went over this last show. You were so drunk you don't remember.
Meanwhile, the corner of no hope.
Surrounded by snow tards.
I resent that.
Oh, damn it, he's going back to his notes.
I know. I have some family members and friends back home are going, snow tards. I got to write that down.
That's what you
3
call
weeks from now, someone's gonna see Rush Limbaugh, snow tards.
Wait,
son of a bitch!
Wait, in East Texas, they're all snow tires. I don't get it. Don't you put them on in the wintertime?
No, not snow tires. Snow tards.
It's a combination of snowflakes and libtards. Snow tards.
What's a lib flakes? What's a libtard? I like lib flakes. that lib flakes. I like that
bowl
one.
of them lib flakes. They're tasty.
I had a bowl of lib flakes this morning. Put strawberries and blackberries on there. It was just awful.
That's a sci-fi movie for me.
It's terrible.
Attack of the Lib Flakes, starring the Tuesday Night Cigar Club's Doctor.
Doctor, do you have any idea how to tackle these lib flakes?
My God, there are so many lib flakes out there. I've never seen so many lib flakes.
They have so many humanitarian degrees, so many liberal arts degrees.
Me so humanitarian.
The amount of their student aid loans must be just astronomical.
The amount of money collectively spent to reach not one single worthwhile occupation is beyond measure. Oh, he can always fall back on his degree in communications. It's true. Levchenko learned nothing.
I got it. Hold on, I'm making a note for my mega snowtard versus ultra lib flake sci-fi movie. Doctor, you're getting a big role in this one. You're going to be local junior college sociology professor Vance McCoy.
Vance McCoy. Is this the one we get David Faustino to play my little assistant?
Yeah, David Faustino, Married with Children, is going to be your student teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nailing all like your students and stuff, the ones that you pass on, because you're a stud too.
I tell you what, Cade's opinions on this movie just won me over. Matt Cade is a genius. What time is it? 10:38. Matt Cade is a genius.
That mega snowtard will be here in 30 minutes. You look over in bed at this little blonde chick girl. Well, the way I see it, we got 5 more. We don't have to get out of bed for another 10.
He's going to be here in 30 minutes. I can do it 17 times in 30 minutes.
Really? No.
No, not at all.
But guess what? You passed your finals.
Doctor, give me 10 inches and make it hurt. Well, I can give it to you 5 times and punch you in the face.
You can't say that anymore, doctor.
Oh, God. It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
You're going to get him butt hurt. Now we're even. You don't like it, do you?
No.
It hurts, doesn't it?
It does. In my butt.
It's amazing. That hasn't been said. Oh, boy. Remember old ass Ashley?
Yes.
He's out of the hospital. He's finally being released from the hospital. And as a drunk Blake carrying a Jack Daniels bottle approaches his wheelchair, he looks at Blake and says, "You look like shit," right before he drops dead. Dude, I like these little Blake moments. And
You mean the Ashley moments?
The Ashley moments, yes. I'm sorry, I hate the Blake moments. I love the Ashley moments. We cut to Ashley's funeral immediately where Blake is giving the eulogy. Donnie shows up to show support, but within seconds, Sanaa's dad has got that sword up in the air and chasing after him. But she finally gets in between the two, and Blake pulls out his gun. Like, this has to end. I mean, this is going on for like weeks now. This guy's trying to chop this dude's head off. But Sanaa says, it has to end because I'm pregnant. Oh, boy. Always wear the Jimmy hat, boys. Always wear the Jimmy hat.
But I just like the then locked-in look between Donnie and the father. Like, he really wants to kill him, but he's the father of my grandchild, and now I can't.
I bought that moment between them. I'll give you that.
That's because they're like 2 pretty decent actors.
This is true.
Donnie is. The other guy reminded me a little bit of.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's unfair.
The guy who opened the restaurant in Seinfeld.
Apu?
No, not Apu. I wanted to say Apu too. That's not right.
You're a very good man, Jerry. Very good man, Jerry. But it's not his fault. He wasn't given a lot to work with, to be honest. I mean, that's one thing that you can say with a lot of these things. Their characters were written as one-note characters. They're not fleshed out, developed characters.
No, God forbid you do that with dialogue and the script.
Well, I mean, the father, he
we
serves...
just thought you'd show up and make it good.
The father serves one purpose, to be funny, to be Sanaa's fan. I mean, you can't expect him to be, throwing out Shakespeare.
Well, all of a sudden, none of this matters because a missile drops and blows up Ashley's gravesite, sending his tombstone crushing down on Gabe's head, killing Gabe.
I'm sorry.
Which says 104 years.
It was
1913 to 2017.
He was 104 years young.
I'm sorry, but this is probably one of the funniest things. I could not stop laughing.
At the
It's
tombstone.
just that fake dead body with
with the tombstone as a
crushed
head.
his head.
Oh, Gabe's girlfriend's like, I'm gonna need a ride home. She doesn't give a shit.
I thought the age was hilarious. If it had been 89, he would have been hilarious. But he was born in 1913.
Well, this sends his young protege Blake into a drunken binge drinking drunk fest. A drunken binge drinking drunk fest, me style. I have those.
That is noteworthy.
Back at Gabe's apartment. It's kind of like Color of Night.
You're running out of room.
It's kind of like Color of Night. Gabe's dead, so Blake just keeps living at his place and taking over. He's chugging beers.
Taking over Gabe's chat rooms.
Well, dude, he's drinking beer in his underpants. He's chugging whiskey on the couch, like dancing. He's forcing the documentary guys to power drink as well. He's pulling them out from behind the camera and making them chug.
Yeah, first time we've seen the
booze.
crew.
It's a big fucking mess. Kind of like the screenplay, am I right? You don't want to get on my bad side, filmmakers. I will wreck your fucking movie. I will be relentless. This is one snow tard you do not want to fuck with.
Calm down there, Ray Pruitt.
Sorry.
I will wreck your life.
Sorry, I will make your life a living hell. Lid flakes. Is that it? Lid flakes?
Lid flakes.
I don't want frosted flakes. Damn it.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they're not that good.
Dear Lib Flakes, where do you get off?
As he's on the floor, just kind of crawling in booze, there's a knock on the door, and it's his ex, Lisa. Boy, they always show up in that moment where you really wish you had pants.
And we're just shit-faced drunk.
I'm glad to see you've changed.
And your underpants completely trashed.
You know what? I think there's something more to Cade that maybe I missed. You know what? I stand behind the decision.
Having been in this situation, it's when you just look and go, well, what you think you're
Jason,
saying is, this is me.
Jason, is there something we need to talk about?
What's the matter? You don't speak?
Oh, I got a problem? We're good. We're good, Jason. He actually pulls himself a little bit together. She heard about the tragic sudden death of 104-year-old Ashley.
How could it be so?
And to help Blake with his grief, she's brought him the only thing that could ever bring a smile to his face. Gunther's home address. You know, where she used to screw Gunther all the time?
She knows where it is because
That's when he devolved.
Toothbrush and 4 pairs of her underpants are still there.
Real quick, cigar. That's what it seems like a good point, eh? Any changes?
No. Which I appreciate.
No.
The little bit of cream that I was tasting early on has gone away completely.
I'm still getting a little bit. You and I are about the same. I'm still getting a little bit of the cream on the retrohale.
I
never got the breadiness on the retrohale. He talked about it was more of just a really nice cream.
I detected almost like I'll just call it like a slight cinnamon.
Yeah.
That was actually in their description was cinnamon.
That was and
on the retrohale or on the draw?
On the draw. And I was liking that. And I tried it on the retrohale, nothing like that. But I mean, it was probably there for about 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm loving this.
Well, the fact that we're getting anything other than that sweet, rich tobacco taste is different than our first experience. That's all we got the first time around.
I wonder if that's a first-timer thing, because that's what I seem to be getting.
Could be. Could be also, that was 2 years ago.
Never picked up any of the honey heather.
No, I was joking about that.
Heather honey.
There's no heather honey.
Oh, honey heather was someone
Honey Heather is
someone I went out with.
She's
recently.
someone I'm interested in maybe casting in our movie that we're doing here. Maybe as your grad assistant / landlord.
I see the community college sociology professor not having he lives in I picture him living in one of those houses like the sheriff and Stranger Things, kind of out on the
overlooking. You know where Dr. Vance McCoy lives? A boathouse.
Oh,
You're on the water, baby.
Dude, Hardy style from Striking Distance.
You're on the water.
He's a total water dog.
Yeah, water dog.
yes.
I like the way this is going.
You see, Taron Killam, this is how stories work. You think them out and you write shit down and you make characters. I'm going to get an email from this guy. Fuck you, man. I was on Saturday Night Live for 6 years. I'm married to Colby Smulders, which surprisingly isn't a porn name. Who are you? You got a little podcast, your little monkey friends.
Hey, the doc's dating Honey Heather.
Hey, I love these snow tards. It's not that personal. You swing for it, sometimes you strike out.
Sometimes you end up with a bunch of monkey friends, don't you?
I'm not faulting them for trying.
Monkey friends, is it?
Monkey friends, are we?
The beer still treating you guys good? Boy,
It
it's
is.
smooth drinking. He's writing in his notes about me.
That's right.
Yes, it is. The beer is treating me well, unlike present company.
God, man, I am just really, man. I am butthurt now. Damn it, you made me use that expression.
No, I really like the beer. It's a nice beer. It's got a lot of weight to it.
Easy drinking.
It's got that nice cream to it. It's basically what I wish red ales were, because I love the color of red ales.
Yeah,
I hate the taste of them.
You don't need a red ale now. You got Paulaner.
The only thing I was concerned about was they described it because of the Doppel Bock that it was going to be very malty. Yeah. I was concerned that was going to clash with the cigar.
No,
and it hasn't.
No. Perhaps if it was a more complex cigar, it was giving us a lot of subtle things. Some little that might get killed by the malts. But this is kind of a one-trick pony for the most part, which actually works really well because the beer is creamy on the front end, malty on the back end. It's not very complex.
Since half of Monkey Friends is friend, is there any chance I can get another one?
No.
Hey, who loves you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore.
No, that was what he would say. That's not how I feel.
No, Yax, you said the Salvator
that was a good flip flop.
Is
good move.
Intended to be what Paulaner beer is.
This is basically like their original beer.
Okay.
One of their earliest recipes. What the monks would have produced early on.
It just the name's throwing me off.
Paulaner or Salvator? It sounds Spanish almost.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about this is like brewed by monks in a monastery, this is our quintessential beer. This is what our beer was supposed to be.
It should be a white guy name, is what you're saying.
Salvator could have been the name of a European monk,
or at least German.
Well, remember they were monks, so most likely Latin.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not sure if Salvator is something.
Salvatorus Maximus.
If it was the Paulaner Hans and Franz.
Biggest
Dix. Okay with it. All right.
He was quite the gladiator.
Oh, he was damn good gladiator.
Maximus Dickus?
You rang. All right. The beer is really, really good. It's perfect for this weird weather we're having.
I'll take one too.
You need a beer too. And the cigar, creamy, bready on the retro. A little bit of pepper, which was new.
Now, did you just say that you're getting the bread?
No, it's
pointing to me. Okay.
I try to bring all of our stuff into it. You got bread, we got cream.
Maybe I'm misjudging that note.
But mainly it's that sweet, rich, really high quality tobacco taste that we got the first time around.
Yes.
It's a great tasting, unique tasting cigar.
I will say that it is very unique tasting. I can't think of another cigar that has actually matched that profile.
You know what I like about the cigar too, which we don't get into a lot on the show, if at all? Aroma. This to me smells like I want a cigar to smell.
Yeah.
The minute I lit it up,
I can agree with that.
It's got a wonderful aroma.
Interesting. See, because I put that there's nothing to dislike about it at all. I just thought there was nothing especially noteworthy about it. To me, when I lit up, I'm enjoying the cigar.
Early on, when I lit up, before you guys were doing pictures, and I lit it. The minute that hit my nose, I was like, "Oh man, that is a cigar smell I could smell all day long." Most cigars smell pretty good when you light them up. There's not a lot of foul, but it just had a really great smell to it.
Yeah,
which I equate with just really, really well aged, good tobacco.
I was about to say between the smell and the look, because to me, I think this is one of the beautiful cigars out there that when I think of a cigar, I want my cigar to look like.
And you know what? It's a cigar that gets no love.
Yeah.
You never see pictures on Instagram or Facebook, social media, the cigar groups, cats. You never see people smoking Daniel Marshall. You never see.
Well, maybe it's because, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know. I mean, hell, I didn't even know he was German, so I don't know anything about the dude.
I'm still keeping my fingers crossed on that one.
You definitely don't see him out on the cigar circuit. You don't see him doing the mom and pop shops, the brick and mortars.
He's out at IPCPR mainly for his humidors, but also for his cigars. He does do events. He does do festivals, cigar festivals.
I never really see him on the other cigar stuff.
It's a very small. He doesn't have a team of national sales guys going around. I don't think I've ever seen this in a shop, which is true. But you can find them online and whatnot. It might be a good time to talk about price now that we're talking about where to get them and how to get them.
Guess. $10.50.
$10.50, doctor.
I would go with 10.
You son of a bitch.
Lowest price without going over wins the washer and dryer that the lovely Todd is modeling.
$10.49.
$11.23.
$11.23, a price that no one has ever sold a cigar for. Full choice. I believe these actually anywhere from 9 to 10, $9.50, $10.
Okay.
Boom.
I'm okay with that.
Totally.
Where are we at in the show? About two plus.
Yeah.
Been smoking it for about
come on,
20 minutes.
Dude, you know how fast I burn through cigars. And I'm not even halfway through this. Now, granted, I got started a lot later than I normally would, but...
Look, there's nights where I want to sit with a cigar and get transitions and flavors and be taken on kind of a ride. There's other nights where I want just... I know what the cigar is going to give
good
me,
friend.
and let's give it to me. This is the cigar, one of the many cigars. There's a lot of cigars out there. You know what? A lot of Roma Craft cigars don't have a lot of complexity.
No.
They just have that one. Neanderthal is going to give you that one Neanderthal taste. If you're in the mood for it, nothing else is going to scratch that itch.
Right.
I put this in there. If I want a really rich, sweet tasting, just tobacco, good cigar that doesn't have a lot of power, a lot of pepper, but it's just sweet and good, and it'll go with a pretty much any middle of the road beer.
This is one thing I've never been down on a cigar because it was a one note cigar. There are plenty of one notes that I love, and I want to experience that. And then, like you said, it's very situational, I guess, because there are times where I do want that complexity. I want a little bit of that transition. So it just depends on what kind of mood you're in when you do that.
But I think that's a fair price.
I absolutely do. Normally, I'm pretty hard on cigars for prices. $9 to $10, especially these days when I look at a lot of boutique offerings. That's right respectably in that wheelhouse.
Agreed, boys. Agreed. Boom! Just like that. We're back. If you're on YouTube, there's going to be a slight loss of picture, I guess, over the last short while. But you can hear us. We'll show you some fancy pictures.
Fancy.
Maybe some dick pics. Is that allowed?
Probably not.
No, that's a horrible idea. YouTube's got to have some policy against that, right?
Let's hope they do.
Richard Dreyfuss doesn't. God. Dreyfuss. Just don't. For some reason, I believe Dustin Hoffman, but Dreyfuss is.
I drugged both the red and the white wine. I didn't know which one you'd be drinking.
I didn't know where to put the drugs.
I didn't know where to put the drugs. I drugged both bottles. You don't want to let that breathe. Hadn't quite dissolved yet. Nothing.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Get your dick pic in the National Geographic.
Mr. Vaughn, take a look at the proportions of that nutsack. Now, those proportions are correct. I understand that you are going to ignore this particular penis until you wake up and find it on your shoulder.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Get your nutsack in the National Geographic. My nutsack was in Jaws. Also, boom, just like that, Blake, given Gunther's home address, is now suited up in his tactical gear, which is really like a black sweatpants and a vest.
Yeah.
And storming Gunther's giant house out in California.
I will say, Blake has good trigger discipline and gun presence.
He does. I felt he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
All right. After a brief shootout where Blake is aided by Donnie and Sana, they show up. Sana. Here's the thing, though.
Just call her Hannah.
Did you guys get this? When he gets to Gunther's house, Blake blows the fuses to shroud the house in darkness. Then he puts on his infrared goggles to storm the house, right? He's shooting out with Gunther with the infrared goggles on. When Donnie and Sanaa show up, they start shooting. They're not wearing any goggles. How are they seeing in pitch dark?
Yeah, from here on out, to expect any sort of plot cohesion and attention to detail, don't let that.
Because it was there earlier in the film.
Don't let that muddy your enjoyment.
Well, they're shooting out with Gunther until they go upstairs and they find themselves in a huge screening room where edited footage from the documentary that they've been shooting is playing on the big screen. I say edited because it's all chopped up. Blake is on the screen saying over and over to the camera how I've had all my friends killed, I've had all my friends killed, I've had all my friends killed over and over again. The three killers turn their guns immediately on their film crew, demanding answers. Who'd you give the footage to? What is this, some kind of joke? But just then a second film crew bursts in the room, and they're accompanied by the one and only Gunther, played by the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And now we finally get him.
Fucking Schwarzenegger.
In minute 67 of a 92-minute film.
He's got his machine gun trained on Blake and his team. They got their guns trained on him. It's a real Austrian standoff. Did y'all kind of want to see the documentary film guys aim their cameras at each other?
Totally did.
Drop the camera,
Like, drop the camera, you drop the camera, you drop the camera.
Who are you guys? What are we doing?
I kind of wanted to see that.
Are they holding you against your will as well?
I just thought it'd be funny if they like used their cameras.
I totally did.
Well, as the doctor pointed out, here we are in 1 hour, 7 minutes into this shit sandwich, and finally we see Arnold. Absolutely ridiculous.
Keep going and I'll tell you.
Well, now as Gunther invites everyone to put down their guns and join him for a cappuccino down the kitchen, his cappuccino, by the way, the foam is shaped perfect, like perfect skulls.
Total Dreyfus move. Join me downstairs for a cappuccino. I'll make it.
My cappuccino's to die for.
It's to die for.
My
Arnold came to play,
But-
baby.
I'm sorry. The one thing
no, that's actually a very
As
good
you're
term.
seeing this character
He
for-
came to play.
as you're seeing this character for the first time, the one thing that they decided they would do for Gunther, and I'm sorry, but Arnold's hair looks like fucking
Awesome.
no. It does
thought-
not look awesome.
Don't say Cades. Don't say Cades. It looks like that snowtard sitting next to me.
They like
I have had that hairstyle
It's
before.
like they turned it. You totally have. It's like they turned it to the lip flake manual and like swirl it around.
no. The front of his hair looks like it's
It's hipster bebop,
It's a
man.
bouffant kind
yeah.
of.
And I,
He looks like he should be in Depeche Mode or
yes.
Yes.
or
It
Morrissey.
had a bad disc sector.
Flock of Seagulls. It
It's
had a
like-
very bad
it's like-
disc
I
it's
section.
was
like-
really
it's
waiting.
like
I was
Morrissey-
literally waiting for some new wave music.
Morrissey,
God,
that's it. It
It's
was
like,
total
It's
Morrissey.
like Morrissey with shaved sides.
a little bit.
Every day is like Sunday.
It's a really bad hairdo, which Tut's right. I've had that hairdo before. I actually had it like a week ago. I just kind of tried to do something different with it tonight.
Well, at least you didn't curly Q it on the front.
No, it just does that on its own. I can't control what it does. But I like your thing. Like, thank God Gunther didn't invite him to the kitchen for a soft-boiled egg, Hoffman style. Well, then we immediately cut to an interview segment.
I soft-boiled those eggs.
We immediately cut to an interview segment with Gunther lounging out in his backyard smoking a stogie, which, did you guys notice, is the Daniel Marshall Red Label we're smoking tonight.
Got the red label with the Daniel
I
Marshall.
paired this shit before I even knew this shit was in the movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I'll take that as an.
I always like it because I
Tut
always
texted me. He's like, "Hey, I think it's a Daniel Marshall." I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Well, fuck yeah, all right."
yeah. Because I always like trying to figure out what cigar he's always
Well,
smoking.
in most
and those
movies,
things.
it's purposely you can't tell.
Yeah.
But I
But
think
this one had the label on it. He's executive producer on the movie, so he's like, "What are you going to do?"
oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
He's one of the 15 producers on
He's
the movie.
He was like the lead. He was the first one that popped up executive producer.
I think they gave him the executive producer because I think all these scenes of him being interviewed in the backyard is at his house. I'll let you film it. I think he just woke up and went out in the backyard.
Sure, come over. We can film a good time.
Well, we cut to these interview segments with Gunther, and he's lounging out smoking a stogie in his backyard. Turns out his real name is Robert Gunther Bendick, and when he found out about Blake's plan to kill him and film it, he got really.
I was really pissed.
I was really pissed off, and then I got really inspired. So he hired.
I was really flattered.
He hired his own documentary crew to make a documentary about Blake's documentary. And as he's telling us all this, we start to see Gunther throughout different parts of the movie.
Oh God! When the home dude threw the poison bottle, is he throwing a bottle at me?
Did he just throw poison?
Like when he fired the rocket down at the warehouse, and he sees the Asian guy throw a little bottle of poison out the.
He just threw a little bottle of poison at me. Give me the bazooka.
Give me the bazooka, and he shoots him. We also see when he was watching above when the guy got bit in the neck by a snake.
I didn't mean for that.
I didn't even mean for that to happen. How hilarious! We also see him when Ashley's getting released from the hospital every time. Arnold's just over in the corner laughing like, he's so fucking old. Look at him, he's dying. It's hilarious.
But no, Ashley actually trained Arnold.
Yeah, he's like, he taught me everything I know, but look at him, he's so puny and weak. It's funny shit.
If you've ever seen the video where Arnold's talking about smoking in his house, that's basically what this is.
It's him having fun.
Because I'm not the pussy like you.
Well, this shit is so much fun seeing Arnold playing around, stalking these numbnuts. This should have been the fucking movie. The movie should have been a cat and mouse game where these guys are trying to get him, and you see Arnold watching them and laughing at them and interfering with them. You should have introduced him.
A little bit of spy versus spy.
Cat versus mouse, spy versus spy. This should have been the movie. This would have been a great movie.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
That's what I thought the movie was going to be.
It should have been back and forth. As soon as Blake, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It should have been like
cut to Arnold.
This movie could have been so good if they had gone back and forth.
I get told by a little bird, there's a group that wants to kill me. What did I do?
Exactly. Or all you have to do is just cut to Gunther. Hi, my name is Gunther.
My complaint with this movie isn't that Arnold doesn't show up till an hour 67 or 67 minutes. My complaint is Arnold should have been there. Just in the existing footage they have, they should have been showing him so much earlier, toying with them and watching them and infiltrating them, as he says. It's his scenes when he's on film. The movie is astronomically better.
The problem
why not show us that shit before it's almost over?
See, I think that this goes back to the bad marketing of Once Upon a Time in Venice. The way that they marketed it as a John Wick movie, they marketed this as an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. He was in everything. He was in all the trailers. He's the main guy in the poster. Hold on, and I know.
If you didn't know Arnold was in it, you're saying
right. It was
if he just like, oh shit, it's Arnold.
Right. It was almost like he was supposed to be like a cameo,
a surprise guest.
Yeah, but I mean, even if they had marketed it as this is a movie that Schwarzenegger's in, but this isn't a Schwarzenegger movie, then you lower that expectation, because when you sit there and you market this as a Schwarzenegger movie, Schwarzenegger's top bill. He's not some guy who comes in the last 20 minutes. Here's the number one guy.
Here's the thing. You could have taken. All right, let's say.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I like your idea.
By all accounts, they probably had Arnold for about 4 days, 5 days tops. There's no reason they couldn't have used the footage they shot with him and inject it earlier in the film, and made.
No, I agree.
The best parts of this movie are when he's on screen. Bring it in earlier. Don't get me sour on this movie because it's lame and it's not funny and it's boring. And then bring in the most. It'd be like us. Hey, you know what? Tonight, guys, we're going to smoke a boring cigar for an hour and drink a flat, uninteresting beer. And then for 2 hours. Then in hour 3, I'm going to give you a phenomenal, interesting cigar and this delicious beer to make up for the first 2 hours. Why don't you just give me that beer and cigar to begin with?
But I do think that your enjoyment of that phenomenal flavorful cigar has tainted the rest of that movie, because it just... I think that had they not marketed this as an Arnold Schwarzenegger
for me, it's
movie...
not a marketing thing. For me, it's a shitty screenplay thing. The screenplay was written where he doesn't show up towards the end. Right. The minute you get that footage and you see that, oh shit, this is kind of our golden egg here. We need to get this going earlier.
It's a good analogy. Don't feed me Dom Perignon when you've been giving me Ripple. It's a waste.
Don't do it.
Now that I'm not.
There's nothing he can do in his 15 minutes of screen time at the end to make up for the shit bologna sandwich you had before.
I'm not going to say that the movie was a shit bologna sandwich. I mean, it wasn't a great movie.
Minus the bologna.
Minus the bologna.
And
it wasn't.
I made that bologna. bologna. That bologna is delicious. I picked it up at the farmer's market.
You like that, wouldn't you? Get your bologna sandwich in the National Geographic.
You're going to ignore this particular ball sack until it sits on your face.
Oh, God, did he say that to one of those poor women?
He probably did. Some of them. But no, like I said, I think it would have been so much interesting because he obviously here he begins to lay out the whole thing in front of them. But it's like if they had tied it where it was,
concurrent during.
Right, you would have been like,
no, I like that idea a lot.
It would have worked so much better.
Much better movie.
Agreed, and I'm not trying to defend what
all
what
my
the movie
problems
has
with this movie don't necessarily come from a performance or like we disagree on who is funny or what worked. My disagreement on this movie comes from a strictly screenplay standpoint. This screenplay feels like it was written by a guy in college.
There's a bunch of holes in it. I'm not trying to defend
structure-wise, flow-wise, it's weak. And this could have been a chance to fix it by taking these Arnold moments and working them back.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
Well,
I won't disagree with you on that, and I do agree that both of y'all's ideas on introducing with him and getting the editing flow a little bit better would definitely improve the movie. What I am disagreeing with is that this is a total loss of a fucking movie because it's not. They're not complex characters, but they don't have to be complex characters. There are plenty movies out there. You get the Fox Force 5 aspect of it. You get your demolition expert. You get your knives expert.
Imagine Arnold wearing a wig and a women's floral dress, making one of those clay cocks with the ladies.
That'd be pretty fucking funny.
Would be hilarious.
This is a really good time.
Huh? I'm not saying that there's not a million ways you can
look at the details with the veinage.
Look at the details. Look at the sack.
It would be great if
Dreyfus shows up. Look at the set.
Look at this.
Speaking of looking at
Speaking
sacks.
of looking at it, I've got one right here.
Actually, that would be a great scene if we would just turn to the camera then. I'm just making my own. It's a copy of mine.
This is a copy of my own.
Don't tell anyone.
Well, we now cut back to Gunther's kitchen, where everyone's guns are still trained on each other. Gunther explains he's been studying them, infiltrating them. Next thing you know, he starts pulling out from a paper bag latex masks of everyone he's been disguised as, such as Blake, which we knew in the initial shootout.
Remember this?
Remember Cheyenne, that gun dealer we loved? He holds up a Cheyenne mask. That was him the whole time in disguise.
Well, yeah.
Then, remember the blonde-haired bartender that Blake made out with and took back to the hotel room?
That was funny.
That was Gunther. And then we cut to him in Blake's hotel room. He's a horrible kisser. And then they show him in the blonde's negligee in the Russian twins room, putting the hand.
What I love is he's wearing it. It's like completely stretched over him, like,
dude. But he's in good.
He's in good
shape.
Man.
But dude, he puts her hand down his underpants. He's like, "This is so fucking sick." But it's so funny. And he puts the guy's hand on her tit.
Look at this.
And then he spray paints like, "What the fuck, man? It's just fucking sick. It's hilarious." He's having so much fun.
I was about to say the funnest scenes are these little moments here.
And they could have been
happening
throughout the whole film.
If they would have been doing it side by side. So you see them and then you see him like, this is some sick shit. I don't even know why I'm doing this to them. But it's so fucking.
And he's so like going for it. Like,
picture him hiding on the roof when the snake bites the. Oh my god! It actually bit him. Let's get out of here.
Oh, shit. I would be so into this movie at this point if he had been there throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And what I love about Arnold,
I didn't want that guy to die. I liked him. He was funny.
Holy Christ!
Bottle at me.
The tombstone landed on the nerd's head. What a coincidence!
I'm telling you, goddammit, if he had been in this whole film doing these things, just edited, it's just an editing difference, it would have been so much better. But I'll tell you this, and I got to give props to Arnold for this. This guy, governor of California, 2 terms, still gives speeches on, environmental policy, gerrymandering, like all this.
He's still very politically
He
active.
still very much takes his public presence as a politician, as a voice for serious matters. Such what I love about fucking Arnold, I've always loved about Arnold. He can give an hour-long speech on gerrymandering or recycling or solar power, and then turn around and do a movie like this where he's fucking putting chicks' hands on dead dudes' dicks. He's fucking cussing up a storm.
You can't do that in today's America.
This dude, you mentioned that video that he did with the stogie, and the quote everyone takes from that when he looks at the camera, you know why I can do everything I do?
Because I'm not a pussy like you.
Because I'm ballsy. This is Arnold at his ballsiest. I'm fucking 70 years old.
I just think he's having fun. I don't think he's.
I don't give a shit.
Here. He's just
My
having
legacy
fun.
is cemented.
No
one can take shit away from me, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. And that doesn't mean safe little roles. You know, it's you know what he does a Maggie to get dramatic credibility. He did another movie that we skipped after.
Yeah, and I actually want to watch this.
Aftershock or after.
It was something like that. It was the one with the plane where his family
was killed. I mean, he's done dramatic stuff, but then at the same time, he can read a script like this and be like, oh, I can have fun with this and cuss and have fun and wear a goofy haircut. The guy doesn't give a shit about sticking to the script. He never has his whole life, and he's gonna die not sticking to the script. I love it. I love him. I've always loved him for that. The guy doesn't give a damn about anything other than what he wants to do in the here and now. And that's ballsy, and that's respectable.
Amen.
I don't think it's really about being ballsy and just being like not giving a fuck. I just think he's having fun. And I think that I wish more people would have fun. You know, there's so many times to where you said it. It's like if the problem with today is that you do a movie like this where you are having fun, and then you try to give a speech about gerrymandering, and people say, well, you look at, did you see his movie? He was like being a dick.
Stallone can't give a speech on gerrymandering.
Well, I mean, come on. Most people can't give a speech about gerrymandering.
True. Very true. We couldn't.
I knew a girl named gerrymandering.
That's pretty much it. I mean,
she was 16.
I can't get into it now.
I can't get into it. My lawyer's good. Sucker. No, nobody's going to listen to Stallone talk about anything except Stallone stuff. Working out and, well, working out.
Working out and working one out.
That I don't want to get into that. All right, well, Blake can't believe how sick Gunther is. How could you kill all my friends, he asks. But Gunther immediately sets him straight, telling him, this is all on you, Blake. You did this when you came after me to be named the new king. You see, the problem with Blake's generation is, according to Gunther, I'm going to go to my accent here, sorry. Although we had a recent person comment on my Arnold impression, and hipster was like, man, that was really good. So I feel a little bit better about this than my usual Hispanic.
Yeah, whatever.
Here's the problem, Blake, with your generation. You're so entitled. You want immediacy. They want to be the best. They want it now. Well, that's bullshit. You know how I became the best? I did it the old-fashioned way. I earned it. How do you think I learned to put my fist through someone's stomach and break their goddamn spine? Or rip out someone's heart and eat it before they even knew they were dead? I've been doing this for almost 50 fucking years, so I deserve to be the best. And you deserve what you got.
Is that a little bit of a slap at young actors today?
Maybe.
Well, it's riding the whole anti-millennial thing. Yeah,
I think it's Arnold.
I can get behind that.
I think it's Arnold going back to pumping iron. The lion on the top of the mountain. You know, you're not as hungry as all these young guys trying to get to the top, but dude, 50 fucking years in the game. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And there is an entitled a sense of immediacy to success with anything that a younger generation does. I mean, look at it. How long have we been doing this podcast? Less than 3 years. Would I like us to have a broader reach, a bigger audience? Sure. But in the scope of what...
You saying we're going to have to do this for 50 years?
My liver?
No!
Shut up.
God, I'm gonna be like Ashley.
Shut up, you snowtard. We are gonna be like Ashley. You guys look like shit.
Classic Doc. You don't even know him.
Shuffling, trying to drink the beer.
I think there was a little. He said it with such passion. I think he was getting something across to who knows who he was talking to. But there is a certain man,
I picked up on. I thought so, and I liked it.
Why can't we have more? Like God, man. What we do, the kings of broadcasting, the guys who did it better and than anything. The Lettermans, the Howard Sterns. They've been doing that shit for 30, 40 years.
Yeah,
we've been doing this shit for 3,
Yeah,
and we expect to be up here.
But at the same time,
You got to put in the work, bro. You got to put in the work.
yeah, at the same time, that's a cool sentiment to latch on to. But you're also talking about a guy who once commanded, millions of dollars just to appear in a thing. Just him being in your movie was like a top 10 box office success, and now we're on a straight to video.
But
He's
project.
70 years old.
I understand that, but it's just that if you're gonna preach to me in a project, I can understand. I mean, like I said, I like the sentiment, but at the same time, that project is a straight to video.
Yeah, but you were cool with Willis in his straight-to-video Venice movie.
Yeah, I totally was.
Where's the respect you gave Willis to Arnold?
No, I totally... Trust me, when you get to my most underrated Arnold films, you're going to be bitching at me for this one.
Pumping Iron.
Actually, that was a very underrated...
I knew it. I'm writing that down. Okay, we'll see. Well, Gunther then offers them all 2 choices. Put down their guns and leave, or we'll shoot it out. Donnie and Sanaa really don't have a choice considering the baby in her belly, so they leave, along with Blake's camera crew. Gunther lets them leave. When Gunther congratulates Donnie and Sanaa on the pregnancy, did y'all think for a minute he was going to pull out a Donnie mask and be like, he impregnated her?
No.
No, but that would have been great.
Once again, why Matt Cade does not get to make movies.
That, sir, is a bad disc sector.
That, by the way, folks, that's what happened to the camera earlier. Apparently, it's a bad disc sector.
It records to a fucking hard drive, man.
That's what Dustin Hoffman said.
How'd you like to go into my computer room and see my new hard drive? I just bought it at
I was in Jaws.
It's called the Commodore 69. I was in Jaws. Damn you. Looks like we're gonna need a bigger waterbed.
Y'all didn't think when he congratulated on the pregnancy that he was gonna have a Donnie mask?
No.
I kind of thought that'd be like...
You knew it. You knew it. That would have been so funny. And she looked down at her belly like, oh no.
No.
Again, why I don't get to do things fun. So we're now just down to Blake, Gunther, and Gunther's camera crew. Well, that's not quite accurate, as Gunther orders his men to bring in Lisa. He kidnapped Lisa, Blake's ex. Gunther swears he didn't know about her and Blake when he started banging her, but he admits she and him never even had a real chance because she's way too big an animal in the sack, and he's too old and too tired for that shit. I was banging her. He's having fun, man. Look at me. She's much too big of an animal in the sack.
I'm old.
Yak Boy style.
I like that.
You're Lothario. You're an animal in the sack.
I was just waiting for him to do the whole Gleason thing. Pow! Right in the kisser. Pow! Right in the kisser.
Sweet raisins. What's going on here?
Hey, he's using sweet raisins.
It's used in 2 different anecdotes on my notes.
Well, Gunther, sweet raisins. Gunther gives Blake the option to drop his gun and leave with Lisa to have a happy ending, or die. And while it seems like Blake's...
I'd like a happy ending.
Put my nutsack on your face.
After my massage, I'd like a happy ending.
I'm Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss. This was no boating accident.
This was no nutsack accident.
This was no premature ejaculation.
You need a beer. Yes. Anybody else need a beer? Again, all these things are allegedly against me. I don't want that snowtard suing our ass.
But it now gives a whole new meaning to that Jaws documentary when he's talking about all the young women that were around back on Martha's Vineyard, 1974.
Oh, does he go into that?
Yeah, he makes us. He's all. I partook whenever I could.
You twirl his evil mustache. Can I get a bagel and coffee? And oh yeah, get your head down here. And what's with these animals? Good God, you got the world in your hand. You're a successful actor.
I've got more of the world in my hand.
What, Tut?
I'm just saying
Turns out Tut was a huge fan of Krippendorf's Tribe.
Bet he was.
part of the reason why people became actors was to get the chicks.
Love you, Tut.
I mean, part of the reason why people became musicians was to get the chicks.
True. No, that's a huge part of any. I think you want to get girls.
And then when it doesn't work out organically, you force them into
it. When it doesn't work organically,
that's not right.
You don't grab your fucking nutsack.
No, you don't.
Shove it in their face.
No, you don't.
Oh, would you like to get some dinner tonight? No, Richard, I'm not really interested. Well, then have a hot dog.
I wanted the world in my hand, and by the way, the world is my nickname for my penis.
Mr. Seagal, I don't know if I'd be comfortable up in your dojo. Oh, you wouldn't be comfortable sitting on my face for the next 30 days? First of all, that seems like a really long chunk of change to sit on somebody's face. A lot of chafing and just dryness would result in that. But second of all, what the fuck kind of dojo is this? I'm picturing like guys up there training.
Exactly.
A dojo, I'm thinking like a team of ninjas.
I'm looking over the door. It's that scene where guys are like karate chopping and like climbing ropes.
That's what I was
No,
thinking.
his dojo's the No-Tell Motel. There's a giant mirror on the ceiling. Welcome to my dojo.
It's the Nojo. Yeah, boy, a lot of chicks got invited up to that dojo. Jenny McCarthy was one.
Sounds like somebody thought he was above the law.
Don't you start shifting blame, Dreyfus. You're just as guilty no matter what Seagal did.
I thought it was consensual. I read for C-3PO. I read for C-3PO.
Wouldn't you? Get your ball sack in the National Geographic. Oh, I can't.
Once again.
All right, where are we? So you guys did not like the idea of Gunther impregnating Sanaa?
I thought it was actually neat.
Yeah, he was on my side. Two against two. We'll call that a draw.
I never thought about it when it happened, but now that you've mentioned it, I kind of like the idea.
Yeah, it would be funny. So 3, we overruled. That would be a good.
I blocked it.
It was me the whole time.
But then when they show it later, remember the little Arnold baby in Junior?
Oh, yeah.
The little baby with Arnold's face? That would be the baby. But Donnie would have to like raise it as his own.
Well, no, actually, I was just hoping they would show the baby, but it would be like Arnold's hairstyle, right?
The little bouffant hairstyle. Donnie's like, well, it could still be mine. But the little baby talks in a German accent. The baby has a stogie.
And then if they did the movie your way, he's all, Lisa, remember this? And he pulls out the clay cock that he made. She's like, oh no, it's you.
Hey, ladies.
You were Francine? Ah.
Yeah. These are all really good ideas they should have done.
Where do you think you got the seed money for it?
Speaking of seeds, how does mine feel, Sanaa?
Seed money. You son of a bitch.
Oh.
Wild man.
You got any better suggestions? Yes, I don't want to go to dinner with you.
Look, Gunther gives Blake the option to drop his gun and leave with Lisa or die. Blake lowers his gun, seemingly choosing the smart path, the path of love. But at the last second, he suddenly makes a move to kill Gunther, and Gunther has to shoot his ass dead. Lisa,
Path of love.
Lisa, she's a former assassin, knocks Gunther down, throws a kitchen knife at one of the cameramen. He falls down.
Man, she takes out the camera crew.
She does. She takes out the whole camera crew.
Starts kicking some ass.
But then Blake pops up, tells her, get out of here. I got this. Right as Gunther's rising to his feet. This is kind of cool where the dead camera guys drop their cameras because that's how we see.
It's actually some pretty cool camera work.
It is, but we've seen it before in Mockingbird, on the show, The Conspiracy. Every time we do a found footage movie, it's like, it was so cool how when they set the camera down, that's how you saw
No, because it expanded that a little bit.
Because like, there were so many of them.
Well, that and like they would actually
throughout the fight scene, they would kick a camera
that would land in a position.
I'm just so over the found footage thing.
I thought it was actually very unique.
I just thought we've seen it.
No, we've seen it to where like the camera falls into perfect position to capture it. We haven't really seen to where like the camera falls out of position
during a scene.
Something happens that kicks in. I thought it was clever. I really did.
All right, I'll give you that. It did put a lot of thought into camera placement because we have to believe we're watching all this through these guys' cameras.
Well, no,
and I just said use guys'.
No, not really, because at this point in the movie, you could have just gone
That's
to the.
True. You could have gone to just like Hollywood cameras and
use guys was subconscious because I wrote that on my.
No, it was a really weird deal because this was like. It was like somebody who cared about their craft planned this shit out.
I agree.
On a project where you really didn't have to plan it out.
I agree. Well, like I said, Lisa runs away just as Gunther pops back up, rips off the giant stainless steel door off his refrigerator,
just takes it out.
And starts beating the shit out of Blake with it.
I do love that. He literally just, you know what? This fucking door.
It's the most Arnold move of the entire movie. It is great.
There's a long one-sided hand-to-hand combat scene here where Gunther just abuses the shit out of Blake. He's breaking flower pots over his head, stomping on his balls. So you want to kill me, you little bitch? Here I am. Kill me. Kill me. Do it now. Predator line, obviously. Gunther screams at him as he punches Blake in the face like 50 times in a row. Then, just as Blake reaches a nearby gun that was laying there and leans up to shoot Gunther, Gunther's disappeared just like that. We hear police sirens approaching outside. The police decide to show up.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. They didn't come to the shootout in downtown. They didn't come to all the cars exploding. The police have been a total non-factor.
Yeah, then all of a sudden,
in the middle of nowhere in this mansion in the mountains, they show up. And we hear a helicopter take off and leave, to which we see Blake on his knees. He listens to the helicopter. He drops his head. Gunther got to the chopper. It's an easy one, but I'll give him that. Then we shoot to on the screen 1 year later. A year has passed. We cut to some wrap-up interviews with Sanaa, Donnie, and their 4-month-old daughter, Ava. They're living happily in Chicago along with Sanaa's dad. He's cool with Donnie now that he converted to Islam and married Sanaa. Donnie tells us that no one has heard from Blake in the last year. When he got a wedding invitation in the mail from Lisa, he got excited thinking she and Blake were finally getting hitched. But it was just some other random dude. We also see a follow-up interview with Lisa, who says she's happy with her new husband, David. And she doesn't really give a shit about what happened to Blake after he chose to kill Gunther rather than leave with her that night. Meanwhile, somewhere in Austria, we join Gunther being interviewed at his brand new massive chalet. Did I pronounce it right? Chalet?
You did, chalet.
Yes.
He's having renovated. Real quick, before I get to Gunther's interview, Tut, your last third of the cigar... Finished? You're almost finished.
Yeah.
I'm down to the nub. Can I just get some closing beer and cigar thoughts before we finish out the film?
I've actually added up my scorecard.
You're already done.
Yes.
Did you average these scores?
I did.
What are you giving this guy?
My final score was a 93.
Fancy.
That's a good score, man. You like this guy.
Yes, I nicked it a little on aroma, just because which it was good. It didn't really jump out. And like I said, complexity, lack of it worked for me, but I kind of gave it a 91 on that. But price value, 95. Gave it a 96 on draw, burn, overall construction. 95 overall impression, came out to a 93. I really enjoyed that cigar. I would definitely smoke that again.
Well, there you go. I've been making notes. So, these will be available in our archives once you make our archives.
I've been nursing the beer.
Archives.
It was a good fit.
It was a really good fit.
It actually was. Yeah, it didn't compete at all.
They went together really, really well.
Yeah.
And I got to say, the Paulaner, I think, is my favorite German beer we've had on the show. I think
agree.
we had the Weissgefeiner.
Weinstefaner.
Weinstefaner.
Yeah, we had the Weinstefaner. We had a Spaten. We
had
had
a
the
Spaten.
Spaten Oktoberfest.
We had the Spaten Oktoberfest.
Originally, what was the one we were going to do tonight? The Dinkelhopper?
Dinkelhocker.
Who'd like to come see my Dinkelhopper?
I knew this was going to happen.
Sauerkraut and onions.
Damn you, Dreyfus.
And if you want, I'll throw a little Dreyfus relish in there.
Hey, take it easy. Take it easy, Dreyfus. We were going to do the Dinkelhocker. They did not have that. We were also going to do the Spaten Optimator. It was also a double Bock, I believe.
I've had the Optimator.
yeah.
It's potent.
It is.
It was potent, and I thought it fit because Terminator, Optimator fit kind of the vibe of an Arnold movie.
I like the Spaten Optimator. I've had it several times. It's actually in my fridge at the house. I actually like the Paulaner Doppel Bock better.
And then just think,
really
when Tut was passed out on the floor, you could go, "You're optimated, fucker."
You're Optimated, fucker.
You're Optimated.
I'm the only one here, I guess, who hasn't had the Optimator. I was looking forward to it, but they didn't have enough. We went with the Paulaner, and I think it was a great choice.
Yeah, okay. I like the Paulaner. I really do. I really have liked this beer.
I should say we do have a sixer of a German Pils.
The Warsteiner.
The Warsteiner. If we wanted to try, if this didn't work, we had a plan B. We got a sixer of it, but we've all been just all in on the.
No, I like Warsteiner. Warsteiner is a good German Pils. It's not, anything that's going to knock your doors off, but it's a good German.
I might
Pils.
try one next, just to.
Well, the Warsteiner actually, in comparison, Paulaner, like I said, is one of the 6 major Munich breweries.
Yeah.
Almost 400 years old.
Warsteiner is actually the largest and most well-sold beer within Germany.
Yeah.
So
It's like the Budweiser of Germany.
correct.
Yeah, I did a MWR tour in Kosovo, and our bus driver was this Japanese-German mix dude. Very fun guy, and he introduced me to Warsteiner, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty dang good. It was actually my first introduction to German beer. So basically, I had come from Bud Light to Warsteiner, and I was just like, holy crap. This is totally
Wait a minute.
not cool.
Beer can have flavor? How much rice do you guys use in your stuff? Get out.
That's pretty much the way it was. It was crazy.
Like so many German beers, they all follow the German beer purity law, the Reinheitsgebot of 1516.
Reinheitsgebot.
1516. Imagine that. This country was founded in what, 1776?
Those crowds
These
were
guys
drinking
are
beer.
writing beer laws in the 1500s
Correct.
that are still followed to this day.
I love
Correct.
that.
I like it too.
The Warsteiner Premium Verum. The ingredients are forest spring water, 2-row malted summer barley, and all German hops.
They got to live by that code, or
They got to live by it.
Summer barley.
or they're
not
killed.
fall barley.
If they deviate from that code, they're killed.
Yes. No, of course not.
Oh.
They're just not allowed to sell their beer.
Actually, they are. They're just ashamed.
Is
They're
this following the beer purity law?
Shame.
Shame.
Okay, I like that. I like it. I like codes. I like traditions.
Code of the Gladiators.
Code of the Gladiators. Not to get off on a tangent here, but that's why I have a lot of problem with modern churches.
Modern churches?
Modern Christian
This
churches.
should be good. We haven't offended anyone in a while. Go, carry on.
Go on.
Oh, you mean since hour 1?
That's
Look,
a while for us.
I got married in the Catholic Church. I had to go through classes to get married. It was an
Yeah.
old school Catholic church.
I remember picking up a shock when I walked into the church that day. Not a shock from seeing you, but like a zip, like uh-oh, God's telling me something.
Well, it was old school. I don't like these new churches with all the acoustic guitars and the speakers and the trap set and the keyboards. I don't like all that. I like
You guys-
old
you guys,
school. I like the codes.
yeah,
of
you
the
guys
gladiators.
did have a nice old school church ceremony.
I go to church. I don't want to. It's like my thing. Listening to dudes with music. I don't want to hear some dude get up there and like, I got a little number for you guys. I'm not here for you. I'm here for God. I'm here for Jesus. I don't want to hear what you got.
He's making a joyful noise.
I don't want to hear what kind of sweet licks you can get on your little acoustic.
He's making a joyful noise.
You would if that musician was one Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, if he got up
Here's
there.
a little song called "Stairway to Heaven," and the stairs go down.
My nutsack. Get out of here, Dreyfuss.
Get out of here! Get out of this church.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yes, we'd all like that very much. Would you leave, please?
I did go off on a tangent there. I like code. I like getting Tut more beer. I like that.
Thank you.
But I'm glad they still stick to this code. That's what I was trying to say.
No, there is a.
If you go to a church that has a bunch of Dave Matthews wannabes playing music, that's fine too. The important thing is you're in church, I guess. So as I said, Gunther's now giving an interview a year later. He looks happy, healthy, as he tells us he finally gave up on killing Blake when he couldn't find him. He was going to kill Lisa, but then he thought, what was the one thing I could do that would hurt Blake more than killing her?
Introducing
He's the one that set her up with her new husband.
Arnold style.
And
An asshole.
And we cut to their wedding, and they're like, thank you, Sue, for setting us up. And it's this old, heavy-set Hispanic woman who kind of looks like the maid that Arnold diddled. And she looks at the camera, and she gives it a wink. Arnold, in disguise as a Mexican a maid, set them up. He's ruthless.
He has a thing for middle-aged Hispanic nannies.
This probably like the one scene where I'm like, you're seeing what I want to see through this whole thing. Like,
when Blake at the beginning of the film was like, Gunther's just a fucking asshole. This is him at his most fucking assholeness. So he did.
It was also, didn't he introduce
I really wanted
Stallone
to, like, see him,
to
like-
Sheila?
Arnold notoriously, Brigitte Nielsen, after Red Sonja, was all over Arnold. Supposedly they fooled around a lot, but he was engaged to Maria at the time. He notoriously sensed that she was a psycho, Brigitte Nielsen, and pawned her off to Stallone. She's amazing. She's a fantastic woman. Got him knee deep in that mess.
Knee deep
It
in that
was a
mess is
tall
right.
mess.
Hey, we're all playing Chinese checkers, boys. Arnold's playing chess. Well, we see the flashback of him at the wedding, set him up. Gunther now is spending his retirement running a garden co-op with his fellow retirees.
I'm sorry, I love this, and now I want Lederhosen.
Dude, he's wearing lederhosen. He's in Austria. He's running this garden co-op, which retirees, they grow organic vegetables and sell them to the local farmer's market. And they show him, he's like, these tomatoes will get rid of your gesundheits.
I'm sorry, I love it, man.
That shit was funny.
He's also coaching soccer,
Oh, no,
man.
no. He also see him coaching a girls' field hockey team.
Yeah, field hockey.
And he's recording a country western album. He's set up a recording studio in his chalet under the name of Cord Bilmont. That's his stage name. He released an online single, Earthquake Love, on off the upcoming album, My Own Terms.
Doesn't he say, "I'm coming for you, Brad Paisley"?
Yes, he does.
I've got a real George Strait vibe.
No.
He does not.
A George Strait sound is what he...
No, he does not.
I think he's right. I got some George Strait off of it.
No, you did not.
As Gunther wraps up his interview, a heavy bearded Blake, a year later, he looks a lot like the Unabomber.
Well, no. What first sets it off? I'm sorry. It's Blake's film crew that's interviewing him.
Correct. And he's like, so you guys still haven't seen Blake? And they're like, no, we haven't seen him. All of a sudden, Blake shows up in the background, huge gray beard, tattered clothes, shoots Gunther twice through the back. He drops dead on the ground. He goes up to the camera. Did you see it? He's still obsessed with killing Gunther. I did it. Did you see it?
The film crew's like, yes. Can we go home now?
But all of a sudden, they hear a beeping noise. And Blake goes down and rips open Gunther's cashmere sweater.
Dead man switch.
To reveal a giant bomb strapped to Gunther's belly, which blows them all to hell.
Not before Blake's all, he's so good.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's so good.
Blows them all to hell. The end? Question mark? Not the end. During the end credits, we cut to an Austrian news conference about the explosion, where we see one of the reporters in the audience is Arnold with a perm wig, and a little beard, he's still alive. You can't kill this guy. Nobody can kill Gunther.
It's not the end until I say it's the end. Get in my jacuzzi.
It's not even jacuzzi. They're in like a little trailer when he's doing all this kind of nonsense. You should be ashamed of yourself, Hollywood.
You're gonna need a bigger bar of soap.
It's hard to be peppy today.
We'll start with that.
Nuevo condos.
The end credits then continue to roll as we listen to the George Strait-ish country twang of Cord Billmont's Earthquake Love.
Oh my God.
The end for reals this time.
From what was the album? My Own Terms.
My Own Terms. It's Arnold with a little, what's the boat? The
Bolo.
The bolo tie and little hat. And that's the end of our movie. We're gonna have to disagree on this one, Tut. I thought the movie failed. I thought it had so much potential. I didn't think it had so much potential until Arnold showed up. And I'm like, oh, this had so much potential.
I just call it bad editing.
Yeah.
Well,
No. A lost opportunity, Eddie. This thing was edited like it was written. They edited it like the screenplay was written.
I think so.
It should have been like, holy shit, you know what? The first 3/4 of this movie suck. Total balls. This is so good. And it references the first 3/4 of the movie. Why don't we go ahead and take these chunks and work them into the movie?
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got the guy who writes the movie, who's the lead actor in the movie.
Never a good recipe.
Yeah, he's not going to think that his stuff sucks, so he's going to stick with it. And that's the reason why, 2/3 of the movie is him. And I'm not saying that he was like bad. I'm not going to be as hard on him as you were. I'm not going to say he was very, memorable. He wasn't horrible. I mean, we've done other horrible movies. This wasn't, necessarily there. The problem is that when you get someone who is so fucking a screen animal like Arnold, when you see him on screen and you're like, you had access to this.
As a director, I'm like, you know what? We need to rethink the structure of this movie. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, but your director is the lead actor.
Well, that's an ego.
Dude.
That's a shot you got to take. Like, you know what? The movie's better not entirely on my shoulders.
Yeah.
We've seen the final cut of Hipster. It's all Cade. We're all cut out.
It is true.
By the way, go to our YouTube channel. You can watch Hipster. I wanted to get Dreyfus for that. I wasn't willing to pay the price.
No one was.
No one was.
Why don't you step into Uncle Brent's art studio here and we'll have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No.
I'm not doing that. Well, no, I'm not doing
Are
that.
you sure? Made the PB&J myself.
God, these guys are creepy.
No, I just it's
Get in there.
the movie is definitely flawed. It can definitely be better. It's not as horrible as everybody's made it out to.
I don't care about everybody. I just care about what I think.
Well, I do care about
Yes.
what everybody does because I mean that's one of the things that we do.
When I was going to watch this movie, my wife came out like, well, it's got 3 stars on, I don't know, Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or whatever.
Yeah, it was panned.
I don't give a shit about. I never look at that. I don't care what the Amazon stars are or the Rotten Tomato stars. Half the movies I would put in my top 20 probably have shitty scores on all these things.
Yeah, but that's you.
Who the fuck cares what the mass... if I'm going to judge what I'm going to soak in on what the mass general American snowtards think is good...
Yeah.
I never pay any attention to a movie review.
I know that
I've
y'all...
never looked
any
at
of them.
a rating and said, you know what, I will watch this or I won't, based on a number of stars that the American public has given it.
I know that
It's
you
a
guys...
recipe for disaster.
I know that you guys don't, but at the same time, analytics and demographics teach you that 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
They can.
There's got to be some redeeming quality there.
We're talking about Elvis, though. He's
But
been dead for 40 years. I'm talking about now.
But I think you're reaffirming my point, Tud. Didn't Rotten Tomatoes and everybody hate this movie?
Yeah, they did.
So
So you're going with Rotten Tomatoes, and you're like, yeah, this really hates. And I'm saying, no, it didn't.
No, you're contradicting yourself. You're saying statistics and analytics are right, but
no, I'm saying
this movie's good.
I'm saying that there's a point there. I'm not saying that that's the end all be all. I mean, reality is what you make it. It's perception. I'm saying that people thought that this
Perceive
was bad.
this nutsack in your face.
Perceive this.
People thought that this was a horrible movie, and I disagree. I don't think it was a horrible movie. I'm not saying it was a great movie. I'm not saying it was the most wonderful movie of all time.
I give it 4 out of 10.
And yet I think that when we started the podcast, it sounded like you really dug this.
I did like the movie. I totally did like the movie.
Stand up for what you believe in.
That's what I'm saying.
Like my dick.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not standing up for your dick.
I'm not. I'm Dreyfus.
I'm not saying that this was a great movie. I'm just saying that this was not. I like the ball hairs, by the way. I am not saying that this was a horrible movie. It's not a horrible movie.
Those are disc sectors. I'm not as harsh on it as Cade, but I tend to lean in your direction, Cade. I see a lot of lost potential.
I can agree with that.
I see a lot of things that what obviously more Arnold's going to make it better, but I even think a lot of the bits that were in it, there were some that made me laugh. The Moynihan stuff. I did get a big laugh out of Yong going cover me and throwing his thing 20 feet. I got a big laugh out of that.
Yeah.
So there were some things in it, but I felt like there were a lot of missed stuff that obviously if you had injected Arnold into it as you had suggested, it would have been better. But I even think there were other things that was like they really thought this was going to be a laugh out loud thing here, and it just didn't do it for me.
Well, I mean, there's been times where we've looked at footage and we've been like, all right, this wasn't in our scope, but we've got to use that. We have to bring this in.
That's the brilliance of film, unlike a stage play or a live performance. You have the ability to call audibles and to be like, you know what, this is actually better if we completely shift some things around.
Yeah.
We can control the audience and we can manipulate them in way. That's the beauty of film, and editing is such a huge part of film, and it's a lost opportunity for me. I read so many screenplays in college of friends and fellow college guys that wrote screenplays in college, and to me this film just reeked of a college guy screenplay. We'll get these goofy hitmen, we'll get an old man, we'll get an Asian guy that only does poison. It'll be funny, and there's no sense of character motivation. Structure was terrible. It's just not funny for the most part.
You did like my script in college, The Dreyfus Experience?
It was terrifying, but I liked it. And I got what you were going with it. You're really ahead of the time. That was late 90s.
Yeah, no one really knew about that.
And I still go back to this. I'm sorry. When your lead comedic actor isn't funny, you got an issue.
I thought he was okay.
All of this means I'm regrettably giving this movie a thumbs down. If Gunther had been present throughout the film, showing that energy and that don't give a fuck attitude that Arnold gave, splice that in throughout the film, I can pretty much say my thumbs down would be a thumbs up. But here we are. It is what it is.
How'd you like my thumb up your ass? All right, I've overdone it. I'm sorry.
No, I like.
That was Dreyfus too far.
I did a lot of stuff here. Both sides.
I like Dreyfus.
Dreyfus
I like drunk Dreyfus. I'm giving these. We'll go around the table. I'm giving the cigar a thumbs up. It actually gave me some nuances we didn't get the first time around. But just a really tasty cigar. Price point for what you get, I'm on board. Beer, I'm surprised how much I liked it. I was kind of scared. When I poured it, I thought red beer, and I don't like red beers, red ales.
Yeah, I agree.
It betrayed the look of it. It was much more creamy and not too malty, not too heavy on that end.
I'm a fan of it.
It's just well balanced. It was really, really tasty,
Yes.
and it went good with the cigar. I'm giving thumbs up cigar, thumbs up beer, thumbs down movie. Yak Boy.
I'm going to go thumbs up on everything. The cigar, solid, beginning to end. Not a lot of transition, but just solid. Beer, same way.
They were good dancing partners tonight.
They worked well together. One did not overpower the other. They just worked well together.
Okay.
The Paulaner, I like the maltiness. I liked its strong but simple flavor. Solid, hands down. Movie, I liked it.
You know what the beer reminded me of real quick? That you mentioned that simple, but they did what they did effectively. To me, it's the Whataburger of beers. Whataburger doesn't get a lot of love compared to like the Five Guys or the In-N-Outs and all that. But Whataburger does a very simple patty, flavored very bare bones. They got their bun. They got their. There's nothing fancy about it, and it's pretty much a one-note burger. If you like that, if you like that note, it's gonna. To me, this is the German Whataburger beer.
And now we're all heading to Whataburger.
I would love to head to Whataburger.
Dreyfus, you're driving.
I always am.
We're gonna need a bigger.
I'll be driving.
Doctor, so you gave thumbs up to the movie too.
I did.
All right, I'll give you that.
Big thumbs up on the cigar. Using the TNCC grading system, you will find that I rated it a 93
That's
on the TNCC
a really
grading
good score.
system.
This
is my first time to use the TNCC grading system, so I may become
It's new. We're
I may
breaking
become
it in.
more harsh or a little bit better as things go on.
We're breaking it in.
I'm going to need a bigger scale. So I have big thumbs up on the Stogie. Beer's good. I like it. I've been nursing him. Enjoying it. I'm gonna go about thumbs sideways on the movie. I didn't hate it.
You'll never watch it again.
Probably not.
Okay. Tut.
Thumbs up beer, thumbs up cigar. I will agree. Thumbs sideways. Well, thumbs 3/4 up. No, thumbs sideways.
I'll give you a thumbs 3/4 up. Your hiney hole.
No, I understand. I understand that I was defending a lot of this movie because
Get in my jacuzzi.
I did read a lot of the reviews, and
I never read that stuff.
I did, and I thought that a lot of the reviews were just bullshit. You are a bunch of fanboys wanting Arnold to do one-liners and reference every fucking Arnold movie that Arnold's ever fucking done.
You read my reviews.
Of course. Yeah. I hope that I stated my case enough to know that my beef with this movie wasn't no Arnold,
No, I think you. I think you clearly, stated why you were against the movie, and I'm cool with that.
It had nothing to do with not enough Arnold. If
maybe
the first 67 minutes had been entertaining on its own weight, I would have been fine with Arnold coming at the end and cleaning house. I didn't think they did their work. They didn't do the groundwork well enough.
And we'll disagree on that because I thought that while there were some dry patches that could have been edited a lot shorter than they were. I thought that there were some funny moments throughout the film. I think that it was shit marketing that you're going to market this film as an Arnold Schwarzenegger film where he's the key deal. They made it out like this is an Arnold Schwarzenegger blockbuster, and it's not.
And an hour into the movie, there's no Arnold.
No, exactly.
You're going to get bitter just by default.
Exactly. And I'm just like, this is horrible fucking marketing.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot.
It was bullshit marketing.
We've seen that a lot lately.
Dishonest marketing, if you will. But at the same time, I don't think that it was a shitburger of a project. Flawed project, yes. Could have been better, yes. Could have been edited better. Obviously, we've proven it tonight.
If this was written, directed, and starred by a 22-year-old out of film school, I would give it maybe a little more leash.
That is such a backhanded slam.
But this guy spent he's a groundling.
That is a slam.
This was written by a 6-year-old.
This was written by a retarded kid from
I'm just saying, this guy,
Tallahassee, Florida,
guy with the groundlings, and he did 5 years on SNL. He should have a better handle on what's funny.
I thought that there was a lot of parts in the film that were funny.
The question becomes, was he an actor or was he a writer?
He should have written, directed it, and cast Dan Aykroyd as the assassin.
Well, that's very legitimate, because once you cast Arnold,
I would have nailed that part.
Once
the doctor would have been better in that part.
I'm just saying that once you cast Arnold is a freaking Death Star who
he is a force of nature,
just outshines everything.
And I love him, and I love him in this, which leads me
to my main thing is that I don't want people to not watch this film because they're like, oh, he's only in it for like 20 minutes. No, you should watch this film because those 20 minutes are glorious.
They are.
The rest of the movie, while flawed, it has some redeemable qualities.
Out of everything Arnold has done after governorship, I would put these 16 minutes of screen time in Killing Gunther at the top of the list.
They were really, really good.
Over the expendable stuff, over everything. This is Arnold having fun, and not just having fun. You know, we see a lot of movies where actors have fun and it sucks. He's sticking to character and having fun and just elevating the material.
What's good about the divergence of opinion here is that by itself, I think, encourages people to watch the movie, because we kind of went around the horn on it. So it really is a situation where just our discussion, I think, encourages people to watch it, because you've got a divergence of opinions. There's going to be people that are going to lean towards one side or the other, but I think a lot of people are going to say, okay, there's quite a lot going on here. They went from one end of the spectrum to the other. I want to check it out and make my own opinion. I think that's a good way to do it.
And I'm cool with that. I mean, I'm cool with that even if you're like, this sucks, this is just donkey balls, that's fine.
Rent Mr. Holland's penis.
Or Krippendorf's prick.
No.
Or another cock out, too.
Rosie O'Donnell was in that. The Arnold thing leads me to my last point of the night.
I can't believe this. This is like so long. This cigar has lasted me the entire show.
I brought out my nub tool.
Speaking of nub tool,
sit on this.
Sit on my nub tool. I'll give you a bologna and shitburger sandwich.
Top 3. I asked you guys to come in tonight with your top 3 most underrated Arnold films.
Underrated is hard.
Not your favorite. We've already done that, I'm sure. Your top 3 most underrated.
That is hard.
Films. The films that you love that don't get the love that you feel they deserve.
So to Tut's point, though, that was... did you use the word underloved or underappreciated? It was kind of the same thing.
Underrated.
So that was kind of what I grappled with, because I thought... I'm not necessarily going first. I can.
You go first, dog.
What I grappled with was, well, quite honestly, is anything from 1982 through 1994, can any of those be underappreciated in any way?
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. Anything is fair game.
So
whatever you feel is like a winning movie that succeeded that gets no love. That is underrated.
Well, I don't think anything that Arnold does gets no love.
I disagree.
Absolutely.
So
I absolutely disagree.
I thought about it. I gave it some thought.
I'll completely disagree.
Number 1.
So these are in no particular order.
Oh, you're not doing order.
Okay. I can't. I wasn't able to do that.
Okay.
I would say that in the Arnold oeuvre, if you will, there's a film that actually falls in that time period.
Okay.
But because it's in that time period, and it falls out of him being the big badass kicker on a John Matrix scale, or I'm a huge people. This is why I don't know that this is an underappreciated movie. I don't know. Kindergarten Cop.
Okay.
I think Kindergarten Cop is a movie. It came out when, like, 89.
Yeah.
So it's like right in the middle of of the Terminators, Commando, Predator, Running Man, everything in between that and True Lies. And I thought I really liked that movie. It's very entertaining. I think it was kind of a different move for him.
It is the only one of his Reitman movies, Twins, Kindergarten Cop, and Junior, that I go back to continuously. I love Kindergarten Cop. Good call.
Also, and this is at the tail end of the spectrum of Arnold movies, from him being 35 to 50, that I just thought about it, and I was trying to put it in the context of what's underappreciated. You know, no one's going to say Predator's an underappreciated movie. No one's even going to say Total Recall's an underappreciated movie. No one's going to say True Lies is an underappreciated movie. I thought that maybe, even though I think it did pretty good at the box office, and I'm going to rely on you on that, I felt that Eraser probably didn't get the love that it got.
If I was sitting in Tootsie, I would pat your shoulder now, because I think that is a immensely underrated Arnold film.
And I thought it's as good as a lot of the other ones.
It made over $100 million, but it was his last of the over $100 million blockbusters. It was the swan song of Arnold as a giant box office presence. Some said it underperformed, just barely creaking over 100,000 for a summer movie. I'll just tell you this: it's on my list.
Same time frame, totally different vein, and I don't know what this movie made, but I feel like it probably has its detractors. And this is one, I wouldn't have guessed the other two, but I'm almost certain this is on your list. Oh, I don't know if you consider it underrated or not. And that's going to be Jingle All the Way.
It's not on my list, but that's a great...
I'd like to see a bench press your way out of this one.
I'd like to see
I just feel like people saw it and they were like, Arnold in a comedy with Sinbad? That's a funny fucking movie, man.
It's my favorite Christmas movie. It's over Christmas Vacation. It's over Christmas Story. I make my kid watch Jingle All the Way because, one, it teaches you the commercialism and the capitalism of Christmas and how evil it is.
And you're all, see what Dad did to get you that?
Two,
you know you're doing that.
It introduces my kid to Phil Hartman, which she'll never have any other way.
That's true.
Which is worth it just for that.
Again, the underappreciated, undervalued aspect is hard to wrap your head around because there's a lot of different ways you can go with that. But I did give it some thought.
That's a really good 3 list, and I'm not going to shortchange any of those.
I think those are 3 really good movies. I think in the context of Arnold's career, I think they probably are underappreciated.
The only one, Kindergarten Cop was a really big success, and I think that's considered one of his more. But from action heads like us, you don't hear that a lot. So I think that's a very solid list, buddy. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and give you mine. Mine, number 1, an Arnold film you never hear anybody talking about, and whether you guys realize or not, I have a poster up in the corner of No Hope. Raw Deal.
Oh.
I have the Spanish-Portuguese poster, which is...
Ejaculator.
See, I never would have thought of that as underrated or underappreciated in any way.
I'm going to erase it off my list.
No one ever talks about Raw Deal, dude.
It's on my list.
Shut up.
You and I watched the VHS tape of that almost every day over one glorious summer.
But you never hear anyone mention Raw Deal.
That is true.
The idea of a giant 260-pound Austrian bodybuilder infiltrating the Chicago mob.
Oh, it's a wonderful movie. I love it.
It is so fucking bananas.
I'm Ray Kaminsky. I'm one of you guys.
It would probably be on my top 3 Arnold movies. I just never figured it was underappreciated. But if people don't talk about it, I take your word for it.
No one talks about it.
All right.
If they do, they make fun of it.
Think I still pass the physical?
No, I
you should not drink and bake.
No, that makes a very interesting point.
Who do I look like? Dirty Harry?
As Arnold fans,
what does the P stand for?
You recognize how good that thing was, but at the same time, now that you mention it, I don't hear people talking.
Yeah,
about
good call, man. I never would have thought that it was underrated in any way.
I think it is.
Maybe because it's one of my most appreciated movies. I could never think of it that way.
Me too. It's one of my favorites, but it is a very underappreciated, underrated.
God, it's so hard to believe. There's so many great actors in that.
Oh.
Robert Davi. Wanamaker.
It makes sense. I mean, it is a ridiculous premise.
Dude, McGavin.
This giant Austrian dude infiltrates the Chicago mob and takes it apart piece by piece.
I'm into computer. I'm sure there's a couple of cops that can punch it up for you.
What's the P stand for?
Pussy.
Pussy.
Where do you know that cop from? He broke up a fight in an alleyway tonight. You sent you 3 assholes to take me apart.
Number 2, Eraser.
Hold on, we got to go back to one thing from Raw Deal. What did you and I always love? When he's taking the chick into the mall to buy her stuff, and the goons come to get him, and they're all eating their stuff from the food court, and rather than put it in the trash can, they all either throw it on the floor or throw
it in the fountain.
They could. It would have been easier to put it in the trash can. They turn around and throw it in the fountain or drop it on the floor.
Show's over, asshole. Dude, it's a ridiculous sign of its times, the movie, but it's one of my favorite Arnold movies, and nobody ever gives it any kind of love whatsoever. So I'm going to go
it complete love.
I'm going to go Raw Deal. I'm going to go Eraser number 2 because I agree with the doc. It was his last summer push after True Lies.
Yeah.
He's pushing 50.
Pushing 50.
Not that you could tell.
After this came End of Days, which was after the heart surgery and after he'd been
End
gone
of
for a
Days.
while. But that was a different animal altogether.
That is not underappreciated.
But dude,
it's properly appreciated.
Eraser.
I'm not going to say that.
Eraser was pure Arnold. Whether it was the immense action scene up in the airplane.
Yeah.
All the James Caan stuff.
Caan was fantastic.
Eraser. Nobody talks about Eraser.
Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams was phenomenal. I'm going to go Raw Deal. I'm going to go Eraser. And my number 3 underrated Arnold performance or movie that you don't hear anybody give credit to, I'm going to go Escape Plan.
Okay.
He was so... First of all, it's a fun movie. Him and Stallone trying to break out of this prison.
It's an underappreciated performance, though.
But
underappreciated movie.
Underappreciated movie. Nobody it came and went. Nobody really talks about Escape Plan. And it was a fun movie. Both Stallone and Arnold, but especially Arnold was so great in it.
Yeah.
Like this movie, he goes balls out when he's in the sweat box swearing in German.
I thought everybody was good. I thought the Middle Eastern guy that's in the prison with them, the D'Onofrio, was it D'Onofrio?
It was D'Onofrio, 50 Cent. Yeah. I loved out of all his post-governor stuff, I thought Escape Plan kind of came and went unfairly. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give an honorable mention. This was almost my 3rd pick instead of Escape Plan. The Sixth Day.
I like Sixth Day.
Where he's the clone.
Yeah.
But I felt Sixth Day got love.
No, it didn't. It did horrible at the box office. It made like $20 million.
I just felt like I felt like it got love.
No, it got no love. But if you put that in your list, you're justified. Nobody talks about Sixth Day. It did badly, but it was. Do you want one of the new ones or you want to stick with the Paulaner?
I've been nursing those, so I'll have one more of those.
Okay. Sixth Day did very poorly at the box office,
yeah,
but I thought concept-wise, Bobby Duvall was great in it as a scientist. Even Tony Goldwyn as the kind of the Steve Jobs of.
I like Sixth Day. I mean, there was nothing that was bad about it.
It was a fun.
Goldwyn's kind of an underappreciated actor on his own. Not to
he
go on
is,
that tangent.
But you know what? Arnold's always been great in seeing like the concept of a film and the high concept, whether it be Total Recall or like.
No, I just think it's kind of weird that like once you hit True Lies, everything monetarily went downhill after that.
That was the apex. I mean, that was after True Lies. It gradually, as his age and his health. I mean, he had a lot of heart problems and.
Yeah, but still, I mean.
Yeah, I just thought anything from 82 to 94, and it's interesting because I picked one in Kindergarten Cop and you picked one Raw Deal. I would have just said anything from 82 to 94 almost can't be underappreciated. But
I never hear Raw Deal brought up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I never hear Eraser brought up. And I never hear Sixth Day brought up. Escape Plan, I think it's still new, but
true.
He was so good in it. And Stallone, it was a 80s action movie made in 2000.
Correct.
God, it shocks me that Raw Deal's underappreciated. I take your word for it, man. I believe you. It shocks me. That's
Nobody's
to me. That's as good as any of them.
Well,
I put that in the pinnacle of Arnold movies.
I do too. It's in my top 5 of all Arnold movies, but it would never make anyone else's top 5.
It's amazing, except
Well,
mine.
Yak Boy, you're next.
And that's the first on my list. Raw Deal.
Raw Deal.
I love it. I mean, someone's like, hey, Raw Deal's on. We got nothing else to watch. What else do we need to watch?
I want to watch it right now.
And it saddens me because, like you said, the premise makes no sense.
It
But
doesn't.
it's so solid.
And it works.
It
In
works.
an 80s action movie environment.
Who's
it
up for some
works.
Eddie Rabbit? Now you're off and running on a one west air. Sorry.
It works. It works crazy. It works. And you know what? Arnold says Commando was the first movie that really gave him the...
One-way rider.
Dude, it's a great song. But dude, he contributes Commando to being his first movie where he's not a robot or he's not a barbarian.
Right.
And he actually has a daughter and a family.
Right.
That's great and all, but I actually always have put Raw Deal above Commando because it's a man who was the elite of the elite, an FBI agent,
Right.
who got kicked down to being a small town sheriff, alcoholic wife,
We need you back.
and we got to get you back. Well, what do I need to do? Oh, just infiltrate the Chicago mob as a
Because
be an Italian mafioso. No problem.
let me just flex out all this German.
I love that you had Raw Deal first. What's your second?
Well, it was a toss up, but Eraser or Jingle All the Way.
All right.
So putting them both in there.
I'm sensing a pattern here. Okay.
Jingle All the Way, man, it was just fun.
Everything about Christmas, the bad side of Christmas, but made fun.
Correct.
It was satire.
And you mentioned it previously, and also it showcased, besides Arnold being the loving father trying to do good even though he's constantly doing bad and trying to
he's an
correct that.
asshole.
But it showcases Phil Hartman so fantastically because there's so few films. I mean,
It's my favorite. It's my favorite Phil Hartman. role.
What's the line? How you gonna bench press your way out of this one, pal?
But I mean, there's only a couple other films in which I just love Phil Hartman, which we previously spoke about was with Bruce Willis was Blind Date,
Oh, he was great in Blind Date.
and then the second one, which we have not talked about in any way, shape, or form, was with Mike Myers and So You Married an Actor.
Oh, I love that.
when he was doing the
Oh,
prison
he
guard
was the
scene,
prison
that one-
guard, man.
It was just phenomenal. Just these.
Machine Gun Kelly.
I don't even remember Blind Date.
He was Bruce Willis's brother-in-law.
Yes.
Was John Larroquette in that?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was the foe, the guy who was fighting. But Hartman was Willis's brother-in-law that bailed him out of jail and was kept getting out of stuff. What's your third?
Well, it was Eraser.
A toss-up between Eraser and Jingle.
So if Jingle All the Way was second, Eraser was my third. I just felt like Eraser. I mean, Arnold was the carry-on through that movie, but with Khan, with
Vanessa Williams.
but also I cannot think of the gentleman's name. I played the mobster.
Oh, the guy Striking Distance.
Pastorelli.
Pastorelli, yes.
Pastorelli was so good as the comic
Yes.
sidekick.
He's like, oh, he's like, I got you in here. I got you safe. Yeah, no self-respecting white guy would ever come into a gay bar.
So good.
I mean, it's just the
But the set pieces were the last of the Arnold, the big action set. The crocodiles in the zoo.
That's a great shot
Crocodiles
right
in the zoo, the airplane scene. I mean, it had so many moments.
and I love that.
Vincent Pastorelli is the name we were looking for.
Yes,
there. No, Robert Pastorelli.
Robert Pastorelli.
Robert
Yeah, sorry.
Pastorelli. It just
Vincent Pastore was Big Pussy.
There you go.
yeah, and those little and just those characters beside him, it made such a good film,
And those rail guns.
Yeah. I mean, and I just love the mobsters.
The
I love
fucking awesome.
I loved the other mobster.
Oh, the old guy that ran the union.
Yeah, I mean, just those guys like, you're moving goods on our dock without union labor. Say it ain't so.
Oh, dude, it had the right balance of comedy, lightheartedness, and action. It was the last real true summer Arnold movie. Well done, Tut. What do you got?
He hates them all. He does. Look at him.
All right, first
He's
of
against them
all,
all.
I have to say that I bow to your Arnold knowledge, all three of you. Y'all have far more street cred in Arnold movies than I do. That said, not one of those movies made my top three, even my honorable mention.
I'm not
He picked
surprised.
the villain.
Honorable.
I'm not surprised. I like the villain. Don't
Code of the Gladiators.
Code of the
All right,
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
All right, what you got?
Number one is Maggie.
Okay, I thought that would make your list.
I said when we reviewed Maggie that Arnold deserved an Oscar nomination
He's
for
great in
that.
it.
I still haven't seen it.
I absolutely stand by
Not only
that.
is he great, their approach to zombies aesthetically was so different than what's out there right now.
You guys didn't like the film, though, right?
Oh, yeah, no, we did.
No,
I think
We all loved it.
I think
it
that
was phenomenal. It laid out, and that's why I said I underappreciated. The number one problem with this one is
Underseen.
have you seen it?
Underseen?
That makes it underappreciated. That
Yeah.
makes that
Underappreciated.
that's what I'm saying.
Is
I
Raw
think that's a
Deal
valid
came
choice.
out in the
Um,
80s. People watched it and then they just turned away
Yeah,
from it.
Maggie was you had to seek it out.
It was,
I'm
no one
sorry.
saw it.
Outside of Arnold acting as Hamlet, I think that it was he deserved an Oscar for it.
Now we all agreed he
should have gotten an Oscar.
And I'll
for it.
say this: out of every as the biggest
It was
as the biggest Arnold fan, he has never stripped himself down to bare bones.
He went so far outside of the box, and that's one thing that I'm always.
It's a wonderful.
I'm
film.
always listening to Oscar.
It's a wonderful film.
I'm always listening to Oscar studies, and they're like, "Well, this actor went so far out of their box." Maggie went so far out of Arnold's box, and he nailed it. He was so cool and lovable.
I'll
in
nail
that
your
character.
box.
The fact
Easy,
that
Dreyfus.
the fact that it doesn't get anywhere near the love, and I understand that people haven't seen it, but I don't care about that. That's not. This isn't the most underseen Arnold movies. This is the most underrated Arnold movies.
If people
and
haven't
Arnold
seen
delivered
it,
a fucking Oscar
that-
performance, and he should have gotten an Oscar.
That is
for
a
it.
extremely valid number one.
Yeah, if people haven't seen it and it's underseen, then that's an absolutely valid choice.
That is a wonderful, wonderful selection. What do you got number two?
Now here's where my list goes
Here's-
off the rails.
Here's where
It's called Predator.
you can stop at one if you want.
I kind of do.
You knocked it out of the park. Let's not.
Here's where I'm going to totally ruin my credibility. Last Stand.
I liked it.
It was okay.
First acting gig after The Governor,
Yeah.
after the deal. All right, so here you got this guy. Yeah, he downslid through Eraser. Yeah, he downslid through End of Days, 6 Days. It was his first introduction back. I liked it. Introduction back.
Code of the Gladiators. Broken dissectors.
I liked it. I mean, he played an older cop.
No,
Yeah, there was a little bit of fun giving it to the older stuff, where it's like, I'm too old. It's kind of Danny Gloverish. I'm too old for this shit. But it still worked for me.
Okay.
Even when he was fighting the cartel guy on the bridge, where he's freaking doing MMA moves, which he's never done before. I still liked it. I still bought it.
If it worked for you, that's all that matters.
Old girl.
But in that bridge scene, he did do the classic Arnold head to knee move.
I liked it. I totally liked it.
Okay.
I like the fact that we saw an older Arnold not being the just over the top. Yeah.
I think I think Arnold was taken aback by. I think he thought that movie would be a lot bigger than it was.
Of course he did. He's Arnold. I mean,
But they got a really well respected Japanese director to do it. It was very well done. but it was so in the style of late 90s, mid 90s action
it was out
movies.
Of time.
It was just out of its time. The audience wasn't there for it.
And I understand
which
that.
Which makes it underrated and a good choice. I'll give you that.
I understand that.
I'm afraid to hear his number 3.
I've got a number 3 and an honorable mention because I couldn't really.
I'm just going to tell you what Dreyfus said. Spit it out.
I've got a number 3 and an honorable mention because I couldn't really place the two.
All right.
I'm going to go Sabotage. It was a horrible buddy movie.
Yeah, that horrible movie.
It was a horrible movie.
No. I enjoyed it. It was a horrible buddy movie because none of the other buddies were likable.
It was a piece of shit.
It was so bad.
But Arnold's role in that was good. Arnold's role in that was really good.
We're not asking for the most underrated Arnold performances. We're asking for the most underrated Arnold movies. That movie was total shit.
I can't separate the two.
Sabotage was terrible.
I can't separate the two. His performance in that was good.
It was
His
one
character
of the
in
worst
that was
editing,
good.
worst pacing, worst
written,
storytelling.
worst
It was
acted.
awful.
It was terrible.
I understand.
Arnold was the only
I understand where Tut's coming from.
great
because
thing.
Arnold was
he was
great.
really good in it, but it was so bad. I can't believe from the director of Suicide Squad and that this would be terrible. It was horrible,
That movie
dude.
sucked shit through a straw.
And so did Sabotage. It was terrible. And,
That's
and
what I
Arnold
meant,
was like,
Sabotage.
since Predator, I want to do a movie about a team. Well, why'd you want to do a team of assholes?
That's the thing that I like.
Everyone around you
I
was
like what's his
completely
name? Joe Magliano.
Oh, he was terrible.
He sucked in that movie. Everybody sucked
Everyone
in that
was
movie.
sucked in that movie, dude.
He did, and I like Joe.
What was your honorable mention? Let's try to move that up.
Last Action Hero?
I had that on my list, but honestly, at this point, that's not underrated. So many people have come up and given that its due. It
took years for them
it's
to
taken
do
years,
it.
but it's now well regarded as the satire of.
Who said that was fair?
I'm sorry. All right.
You want to be a
Like,
father?
So you came late to the party,
None
pal,
of-
and you like it now. That's fine. But when it came out, you fucking shit all over it.
I understand
and
that,
I
but
loved
like,
it
but
right
like,
since
but
then.
like what the doctor said with Raw Deal, like I can't believe anyone would disregard that. Last Action Hero gets praise now. It gets the love it does now
because they understand what it was going for.
Correct.
They understand
we're
the
talking about
parody
movies
that it was done.
We're talking about movies that haven't gotten there yet. Maybe in 10 years we'll get people that like,
Or
oh,
maybe
shit,
never.
Raw Deal was doing something,
Well,
nobody's ever
then,
gonna say
then
that.
I
but-
will. Then I will go back to Sabotage simply because, for all the shit that we give Willis in just phoning shit in, and then he didn't phone shit in
Arnold
Once
has-
Upon a Time in Venice. Arnold did not phone shit in for Sabotage. He
Well,
absolutely fucking.
I don't think there's any argument on that.
To that point, Tut, I'm going to say this, and stop me if I'm wrong. Arnold hasn't phoned shit in
No, I don't think he has. No.
ever.
Yeah. No.
When you hire Arnold, you know you're going to get a marketing machine who will go out there and pump that movie, but you're also going to get a guy that on set is going to give everything he's got. Him and Stallone, I said this on the last podcast, even if it's a shit script, even if it's a shit movie, they're going to treat it like it is the best thing they've ever done, and they're going to sell it like it's the best thing
I'll
they've
agree
ever
with
done.
that.
And you don't get that with Willis, but that's a different story.
Did I ever talk about the movie The Judge?
Hold that thought. Doctor, you were saying The Judge.
So you're talking about, and I agree that with Arnold, there's never been a mail-in. Whether you like the movie or not, that is a guy that just doesn't mail it in. And I was just thinking of situations where there are films that, big budget films, big stars in it, but there's somebody that goes and delivers a great performance. And the movie The Judge, and I believe
Robert Downey Jr. movie.
And I believe Robert Duvall, who's the character of the judge,
Duvall never
was nominated for an Academy Award. The movie itself is such a 2.5 hour
Cliche.
designed to be a tearjerker. And I'm sorry, but Downey Jr. to me, he plays the same guy. There's Tony Stark, Sherlock Holmes, this guy, they're all a variation on the same Downey Jr.
He has turned into one of America's most interesting actors into one of America's most predictable actors.
It's the same thing over and over. He's the same thing here. It's Tony Stark and Sherlock Holmes. I'm cooler than you. I'm hipper than you. Yeah, I'm a little bit damaged, but I'm always going to come up with the coolest quip. Whereas Duvall, and this is to me, and again, it's Robert Duvall. It's one of the most legendary living actors you can talk about, living or dead.
Awesome actor.
You believe that when you're watching this movie, even someone like me that's seen as many movies I've seen, you forget that you're watching Robert Duvall, and you believe that he is this character of this crusty old judge. You believe it all the way.
To take it back to Arnold,
I love Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall in the Sixth Day.
Yeah.
You believe him as this doctor who lost his wife to Alzheimer's and is obsessed with cloning.
Duvall, I'm sorry.
You know Robert Duvall. You've seen Lonesome Dove. You've seen him in Godfather. You've seen him in a million things. He has that certain intangible thing where you can lose yourself in watching him in a performance because he's so raw and he so encompasses each little role, even whether it's Godfather, a real
and we're
movie,
we're stretching,
or Sixth Day as this doctor. He has a.
He's an actor.
He's an actor.
And I'm making a stretch between Arnold and Duvall, whereas I'm just saying, not a stretch. I'm making a comparison that when you pointed out correctly, Cade, that Arnold never mailed anything in. Whether you like the movie or not, Arnold is not a guy that picks up his check and walks through it. He gives you what he's got.
You know what?
It just reminded me of the judge because I thought there were a lot of talented people in there making a lot of money, and it was Duvall was the one that just shone through the material.
You know what the good thing here, before we wrap things up, one of the great things we can say about Arnold is he's always surrounded himself in projects with really good actors.
Yes.
And when you watch, as I have, the making of or the interviews with these actors, whether it be James Caan on Eraser or Robert Duvall on Sixth Day or, Heston on True Lies, they always say the same thing about Arnold. The guy's an old school Hollywood pro. Shows up on set, knows his lines, no bullshit, comes at it. Like these guys. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of bullshit where these old Hollywood guys come on modern movies with modern movie stars, and they don't have a lot of nice things to say, so they don't say anything about their work ethic or whatever. If you go back through Arnold's lineage on these films, everyone who works with him says the exact same thing. Whether it's take 1 or take 20, he gives you the exact same. He listens to the director. He gives you what he needs. Never complains. He comes in prepared. He knows his lines. Those old guys like Caan and Duvall respect that shit so much because they see so much where that's not the case with these young actors.
One of my favorite...
they love Arnold.
One of my favorite Anthony Hopkins interviews was that they're like, all right, so what's the secret? What's the secret? What's your motivation? And he was like, I like the accolades. I'm not going to say that I don't, but it's very simple. I learn my lines. I show up on time. That's it. I know my lines. I know the character. And then I show up on time.
And one of the things, everyone, we just sat there and said, what are the underrated? But take a overrated Arnold film. The Terminator. What did he do in that film? Just go back and look at those scenes where Arnold's on screen as the Terminator. He had no lines. But look at his facial expressions.
He brought it.
He brought a lifeless robot to life.
Yeah.
Literally, look at him when he's sitting there scanning over people. And I laugh at that because I still go back and I look at that, and people say, well, anyone could do that. Really?
No, they couldn't. Because there's been a lot of people that have tried since then and have done absolutely crap. Look at Terminator 3. Look at Terminator... Oh,
I've tried to do 3 or 4 of these podcasts as a lifeless robot. And
And I have still, I mean, it still just works. You
Sweet
imagine,
raisins.
Sweet raisins.
Sweet raisins.
you feel, and that's the hardest thing to ever say about
Got a pair of sweet raisins in my pants.
Show up and look around like you don't care.
That's actually a very good.
He
good
brought,
point.
I mean, and just his movements within that brought that whole genre of cyborg robot killers to life. You've got to be able to project that.
And that movie's not overrated. It's properly rated.
No, it is.
It is.
But
It's
you know
one of
what?
the fucking greatest
when,
movies ever
When
made.
Arnold was being cast as Reese in Terminator, and he started telling James Cameron, because Arnold was going to be Reese.
He's
Yes, O.J. Simpson was going to be the Terminator.
what?
And when
Yes, this is true.
And when he started telling James Cameron,
Imagine that.
When he started telling James Cameron, make sure that he turns his head first and then leads with his body. It's always going to be head first, then body. He started giving James Cameron all these notes on how the Terminator should act while he's going to be Reese. James Cameron's like, well, why aren't you the fucking Terminator?
And we liked OJ because he already showed up with blood on his hands, so we thought it was a good fit.
Oh,
I do want to say that I
Too
want to.
soon?
I want to.
Nah, it's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years.
I want to point out another movie, and it's. I guess.
Although
we
if
could,
you think it's too soon,
I guess we could sit here all night and point out.
Don't put my
fucking-
name on your chart.
Point out Arnold movies, but I do have to point out Pumpin' Iron. That was a great documentary.
I don't
Whether
think
it's a documentary or mockumentary,
I don't think it's-
and it's not underrated because it's one of the
it's
best
legendary.
documentaries.
No, it's a
out
real
there.
documentary. There's
And
nothing
it's
mock about
legendary.
it.
It's kids like me who grew up wanting to be Arnold, wanting to be Bobby. I watched Pumping Iron probably 5 times a week in middle school and high school. I lived on Pumping Iron. I don't
Got
think
one of
it's
the greatest
underrated.
lines ever. How much milk do you drink? Milk is for babies. You should drink beer.
You grew up, you gotta drink beer.
But I think that's
Unfortunately, that's the only message in that movie that I latched
Remember?
on to. He had so much wisdom in that movie, but I remember him drinking
What about
beer.
You should drink beer.
Hey.
You should drink beer.
Now I'm the host of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
That and weightlifting is it's like coming. When you get pumped up, it's like you're coming. I'm coming all the time.
Well, see, I got it confused. I thought he said drinking beers like coming. I've been trying that aspect for 30 years.
It hasn't been working
It has, I've yet to find it. I've been chasing that dragon for way too long.
I've got a dragon you can chase.
I
Take it
don't
easy,
know.
Dreyfus.
I have met a lot of Arnold fans that are
Chase the
fans of the
dragon.
movie that haven't seen Pumping Iron.
Of course. No, that's and that falls into underrated and underseen. But well, I think it's valid. I think it's valid because it does give you a really good insight into young Arnold right before Terminator broke, and to see the kind of drive that it takes to get.
That's where his whole screen presence was recognized. That's what got him his movie career. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, people looked at him and thought, "Well, this guy's really dynamic in front of a camera." And he's built like a brick
He
shit
is-
house.
Exactly. I just
Are you talking about me or Arnold?
there is something that is very magical.
I've got some bricks for you to stack.
There is something that is very magical about having Arnold on the screen. That's why, even with all the criticism directed towards killing Gunther, I won't say that that's unjustified, because the moment that you realize you have this magnetic personality in your project, you want to maximize.
And am I wrong?
that.
Am I wrong, Tut? In the first scene we see with them in that Gunther's kitchen, I think you see it on Bobby Moynihan's face and the girl, the Sanaa's face. Holy shit! We're all of a sudden after this whole movie we've been doing with a bunch of jokers and a bunch of we are acting in a scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think you see it in their face.
Well, that's one thing that I do kind
We're in the presence of literally one of the last living box office legends.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. So
I think I saw it on their face. Like, holy shit!
well, you have two things. You had Gabe in his introduction talking about how much of a fan he was of Gunther, and you had Boom Boom talking about how Gunther was a legend. Why not explore that a little bit more. Explore why they thought Gunther was such a legend. You never really got, the chance to explore being with them.
Yeah, you never heard why. You never heard anything of his exploits. I would have loved to have a 20-minute kind of prelude of showing Gunther in action.
Yeah.
Showing him, like,
on the basketball
throughout
court,
history, like, doing these weird hits and all that. That would have been great.
Yeah.
You could have really, like, utilized Arnold a lot more better in this film.
I just think that, as odd as it sounds, the scene where he's killing the Russian brother and sister, he's got that fucking negligee just stretched all over him. And he's like, look, this is so fucking sick.
I can't help it. It's hilarious.
That was one of my favorite scenes because it showed that he was just fucking having fun. He wasn't like, oh, I'm so ballsy, I don't care about shit. No, he was just having fun. He was just like, this would be some fucked up shit to show. Let's have some fun with this.
It's the difference.
And I love that.
But it's the difference, and it's always been the difference between an Arnold and a Stallone. You would never get Stallone to do a scene in a negligee, putting a guy's hand down it.
But you got Stallone dressed up as a rhinestone cowboy.
Listen, you would never at this stage in their career get Stallone doing shit like Arnold's doing.
No.
He's got too much pride and ego to put on a negligee and to have fun. Stallone's never been about fun. He's always been about ego first.
Yeah.
He's got to have the biggest gun. He's got to have the biggest knife. He's got to have the biggest beret.
The cutest 16-year-old.
He's allegedly.
Allegedly, Doc.
But these are all good lists.
I wish the things people said about me were alleged. instead of true all the time.
One day. These are all good lists, boys. Good work. I'm proud of you. I think we brought light some good. Maybe you guys at home and girls at home will go watch some of these flicks. I'm not sad at all. We did this film. As much problems I had with it, I think it was a good film to do.
It's a fun show,
and it cruised us through talking about a really good cigar,
absolutely,
a really good beer, and that's what we do. If anything, tonight encapsulated what this show is. It's our Tuesday night group at the pub here. We would tear this movie apart at the pub while we drink beer and cigars. And we would disagree, and we would argue. We would make very crude.
I made 2 pages of art.
Richard Dreyfuss jokes, Steven Seagal jokes.
Allegedly, I didn't dine at that pink taco stand.
My favorite comment about the show, it was
tacos.
Like, oh my god, it's like I'm at a cigar lounge with my friends talking.
Yeah, but you know what? I think even then, I think people are kind of self-conscious at cigar lounges to keep some sense of decorum. This is us at the pub.
There's decorum as no.
Tonight's show is us at the pub. It's not a cigar lounge. It's us where we can talk about anything and offend. And
from the last show I was here for.
It's fun.
From the last show I was here for. Hey, decorum ain't got nothing to do with this place. Follow me.
It does not. Tuck, give us some links.
At TNCCcast is our Twitter. Hit Tuesday Night Cigar Club Facebook.
Oh wait, that's my new thing.
TNCC_podcast is Instagram. If you've stayed tuned all this time, hit the Amazon graphic on our website.
Speaking of the microphone, Tut. Speaking of it.
By microphone, I mean my penis.
Microphone, I mean my wang.
And that's
I was in Jaws.
That's all I've got.
Works for me.
I love it.
Drink a Paulaner, smoke a Daniel Marshall, watch Killing Gunther.
And remember the code of the gladiators.
And never, ever forget the code of the gladiators.
Sweet raisins.
Sweet raisins.
Fix your disc vectors. Disc sectors. Dick suckers.
Hasta la vista, motherfuckers. We'll see you next week.
To learn more about the time I worked as a high-priced international assassin, please read my thrilling autobiography, Learner's Permit to Kill, my short-lived and highly unsuccessful career as a hitman, by Keith Killington. That's the name I went by in the international assassin circuit, Keith Killington. And when I said I was high-priced, that was kind of bullshit, because I never actually got paid for a single hit. I thought I had a client once, but I set up my PayPal account wrong, and then I lost the dude's email address, so... Folks, Keith Killington is a fraud. In the meantime, to learn more about the cigars and libations enjoyed on tonight's episode, you can visit www.danielmarshall.com and www.paulaner.com. For more on O'Brien's Irish Pub, the live music leader in Central Texas, please visit o'briensimple.com and download their free smartphone app, where you'll find full beer listings including over 40 on tap, menu information, and a calendar of upcoming live events. To listen and purchase music heard on tonight's program, check out www.fritzbeermusic.com. Thank you for listening to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. This is Keith A. Howell saying until next time, friends, unless we see you sooner at the pub. So keep it smoky, and for God's sake, keep it ballsy as well.